I never know how to address this at the start. I guess I'm Owen Collins, and I'm here with
Austin Gervasio
and Rose Williams.
Yep.
Hi, everyone.
All right. I'm always unsure as to who I should be addressing this to, but I guess anyone who watches, to whom
anyone who watches,
to whom it may concern.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, to catch you up on where we left off yesterday, where is a good? How would be a good way to phrase this, Austin? I think we got through.
We did part 1.
Search by directors. We had working 2.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right. We did the first scenario.
Yeah, we have this scenario working where you can we added the director to existing movies. We can edit. We can add all of these things. And then now we were moving on past that. And there was some. Okay, I don't
Something
think we
with
had
director.
Yeah, I think it might have been adding the new routes because we had to.
Oh, okay. Can I take a quick look at your C9 directory, and we'll just go through a few things real quick?
Sure.
Fantastic. All right, so we've got okay, acceptance unit test. Okay, I think your BDD cucumber is open.
Yes, it is. Sorry, there it is.
Yeah, there we go.
That would have been confusing eventually.
Then they're done that. Okay, so you've got a migration. You've got oh, and can you bring up a couple of terminals on the bottom, maybe? Like you could split your screen into 2 rows and have. Do you know how to do that?
This is something that I have not known how to do. It happened to me.
Okay. Do you see to the left of your first tab? To the left, click on that.
Ooh.
Okay, and then you can. Do you see where it says split pane into 2 rows? Yeah.
Okay. And then I can move my terminals down here.
And then you just move things down there, and then you can pull them down when you want to look at more stuff on the top, and pull it up when you want to look at more stuff on the bottom. So do a rake db migrate status.
Rake db migrate.
Yeah, rake
db
migrate status. Okay, beautiful. So that looks very nice. Can I take a quick look at your schema?
Sure. That's going to be
in your DB.
Yeah, I see.
Right there it is. You've got it. Okay.
You want this down here? Okay.
Okay. Yes, good. Okay. You can close that out.
All right.
Very nice. I see that both your development and your test databases have been created. That's good. So that shows that you've done something like rake db test prepare.
Yes, we have done that.
All right, good. And you have, let's see your config directory.
The config, and in there we have
routes.
Routes.
Yeah, so let's see, resources, movies, route to. Yeah, there's a simpler way to do that now. Instead of route and then the :2 redirect, all you have to do now with Rails 4 is say route and then give the path name without path. Well, basically the controller name and the method name. And so in quotes, right after root.
Right after root. So.
Right after root. Yeah. Start some just some single quotes, and then put movies, and now # to indicate that it's an instance method. Index. Yeah, and that's all you have to do now. So you can get rid of the rest of that line. Sometimes what I do is I put a hash in front of it just so I see an older version, a newer version. But you're not going to go back to an older version. You know, you're going to move forward. So Either way is
I'll
fine.
keep it there. I like doing that too, just so that if I don't immediately understand what the first part is doing, and I do remember what the second part is doing.
Right. What sometimes happens to me is students will show me their code, and I'll recognize that it isn't the new way, but sometimes it's hard for me to remember the old way unless I look at it. And I don't want to tell people that, well, that's syntactically wrong when it isn't. Just want to encourage them to use the new methods whenever possible.
Right.
All right, so we've got that. Now, I noticed that you added a movie. I'm not sure how far you've gotten so far, but you haven't added any route to reflect the fact that you have to add a new method to your controller.
This was something. This was where we got to.
Okay, can I look at your controller?
Yes, that's going to be movies controller.
Yep.
All right. We added the director up here in the params hash.
Good. All right. Fantastic.
We have not changed any of the sorting mechanics down far.
Yeah, I might add that they've given you basically a solution for some of the previous stuff, but it's a horrible solution.
Really?
Anyway, it is. It's a terrible solution. When Armando puts these solutions so that you can see them, he doesn't want to give anything away. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know. I can't remember whether we went over, better ways of doing assignment 3 at the time. But at any time, if you want to review that, let me know, because, I would like everyone to try to do these things a more efficient and elegant code sort of way. Okay, so you do not yet have a method that's going to take care of this?
For what exactly?
I'm still trying to kind of gather where you are. So are you maybe show me the directions again? So you got through part 1, and then you. Oh, okay. Now, have you gotten past 2? Or are you doing 2?
We are in the process of 2. To me,
okay.
when we're reading through 2, it says what we broadly should be doing, but it's not like the specific things that we should be doing. And trying to remember what specific things it led to a bunch of going back and forth and things last time.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly the first time you do this, it's going to. Okay, so have you worked on the first scenario yet?
Yes, we have completed, as I think we said earlier, that we've completed this first scenario in the search,
which is
the add a director to an existing movie. We have this scenario.
When I go to the edit page, I press update movie info, then the director. Okay, good, because at this point, you only have the current pages, and you only need the current routes. Let's see. Okay, and can I see your paths file in support?
Paths.
Feature support?
Paths.rb.
Yeah. Okay, so when they're on Potato's homepage, the movies. Edit, edit movie, path movie. Okay, good. Because you're going to have to do the same thing basically for the details page. So I just wanted to make sure you had that down properly.
This 18 and 19 took us it took us way too long, because we tried to follow what it said here, or rather what it said down here, and this does unless you copy over that regex rate, it will not recognize it, and we spent half an hour to 45 minutes on a nil.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Again, that's the sort of thing. If you send me a question, I can help clear that up right away. But you have in fact done it perfectly. So you're using the path. Even above the one they gave you, they're using the raw URL, which is not ideal. They really should have there then movies path instead of
just
/movies. Yeah. So again, they do provide some things, but it's not necessarily the best solution.
Yeah, it's like they do this at 16, and then they suggest that you do a different thing down here to do it. And it's like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do notice in some cases, apparently Armando will provide some code where, you know, he'll show maybe several ways of doing it, just to give you some hints. But again, it's not usually the best solution. It might send you on the road to a better solution, but it's definitely not the best solution. And it's not because he can't write code. He can write code.
I would imagine he can. I would imagine that. All right.
He's about as brilliant as they come.
He seems like it. He seemed, just from from the lecture videos on Spock, just the way he's able to communicate these ideas, he's
extraordinarily articulate. He's a concert pianist, besides being one of the foremost computer scientists in the country, and he's a composer. So
he does
yeah, and then he has these blogs where he talks about, you know, his book lists and things like this.
I feel like I can make a terrible joke, but I'm not. I'm gonna restrain myself.
I don't know how he does all these things. I just don't. I really don't. And I mean, it's one thing to do a lot of things and you know, kind of dabble in this and that, but it's like he's like outstanding, you know.
Of course.
So yeah. At any rate, so we have the edit move. Okay, so I think maybe for the next step you will have to add another one, but you've got this down, so that's good. I remember the first time I had to do this, and it was like, what? You know, what is going on? So yeah, so let's look at the directions again.
All right.
And so you've got that first feature passing, and this next one is you're going to, here's the one where you have to find movies with same director. And of course, that says that you're going to have to write a new controller method, a new view,
and a new route.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. So what do you want to tackle first?
I feel like the route is going to be the easiest part to start with first, because if it's defining a route, that'd probably be very short.
Yeah, and not only that, but without the route, nothing's happening, right? You can write a method, but the method won't get invoked. It won't go anywhere.
You can just say it's going to call a route. It's going to use a route later when you define that route. You should start with that.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would like you to do is there's your routes. Now do a quick search of member versus collection routes. Rails member versus collection routes.
Okay, so how would I do that? That'd be in the bash terminal, or what would I use for
No, that would be like Chrome, like your.
Oh, okay. That's I was just going to be clearing up the search. So it would be Rails.
Yeah, Rails member versus collection routes, and it should get you to the page that we want. Okay.
Ruby on Rails interview or Stack Overflow. Okay, there's
Rails routing from outside in. That'll be a good one.
That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
I reached this page when we were working on it last time.
Yeah. Okay, so now slowly scroll down because it's down a ways. It's not anywhere near the top. Keep going. This is all the RESTful routes.
Path and URL helpers.
URL helpers, yeah. I mean, you know, that's what we're using. Singular resources.
Controller namespaces.
Yeah, okay. Keep
resources,
going.
Scope resources, nested resources.
Hold on here. Nested resources. I think it's a little past here. Just a little bit.
Okay. Just gonna keep going. Limits to nesting, shallow.
Shallow nesting. Okay, keep going, I think.
Routing concerns? Creating paths and URLs from objects?
Not exactly. Boy, is it still further down?
Adding more RESTful actions?
Yes,
There
that's
it is.
it. That's it. Okay. So there's no reason. I mean, they give you a suggestion of using matching, right? But there's no reason why you can't make this another RESTful action in your project. And there's a whole lot then that you don't have to worry about. It's much simpler. So there's a thing called member routes. Now, the idea of a member route is that when you go to this route, you're going to it based on a single instance or information from a single instance of your resource. Okay?
Okay.
Which, in fact, although you're going to produce a collection, you're getting there from a single resource. Is that right?
That I follow. That makes sense.
Okay. And I just want to expose you to the thing immediately below it, which is that you can also add additional collection routes. And that is, in fact, if you are accessing this page based on a collection to begin with. Okay? Like here, they have a collection and they're going to do a search on the collection. Okay. So anyway, look at member, and I noticed that in some of the other things you brought up on the search, there's Stack Overflow has a lot of discussions about this: when to choose a member route and when to choose a collection route. And so here it shows that you have some basic resource that has RESTful routes, like we have resources movies, right? But since we're going to add a member route, we're going to have to make a block out of our resources movies so that we can insert inside the block a new member. Can you see that?
Sorry, can you say it again? I might miss it.
So in our routes so far, we have resources movies, right?
Yes.
That's all we have. And that's all we need right now. But as soon as we want to add a new member, that member would have to be nested inside the resources movies block. So we have to first make a block out of resources movies. So in other words, resources movies do end. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then in between there, you're going to do just like they have here, member do, right? And here, it is still going to be a get operation, so that's kind of lucky, all right, because it shows us how to do a get, and it'll be a get on some attribute. And what would be the attribute that we're going to try to access?
A director.
Or I shouldn't say attribute. It's going to, it needs, like we're trying to get an attribute in a method. So it would be the method name. And I don't know what you want to call your method name. You know, you could say like find same director, find director. I mean, you know, whatever you want to call it. But you have to give the name of that new method.
Okay. So we could define that method ourselves as being find new director, and then this would be okay. And then the preview in this case, where it has that is the method name, or is that
the method name?
Okay. So we get that method name on the member, which in this case is movies, right? Okay.
Oh no,
I'm
we're saying that the new member is to what did you say? Find same
movie or find same director.
Or find same director. Yeah, okay. That's the new member.
That's the new member. Okay.
That's the new member. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's see your routes and let's tinker with them.
2 routes. Right down here.
Right. Now you're going to do this above the root. You don't have to include the root in the block.
Okay.
So
what about this? I should do it after the resources movies.
Yes, right after resources movies. Okay, so in line 2, you've got resources movies. How do you make it a block? What do you do? What do you have to put at the end of that line first?
You have to put do.
Yep.
Do.
Mm-hmm. Do.
Then just to end the block, we put the end over here.
That's right. That's right. And then inside, you're going to nest the new member. So you're going to say member and make it a block.
Member do.
Yep. Yep. And put your end there. Okay. And now define this new route by saying what's the HTTP verb, which is get, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And then in quotes, you're going to put the name of the new method.
Snake case. We don't use camel case in Ruby.
Yeah, it's snake case. That's right. I
Fine.
wish they did.
I always like I think it was like
I always mistype the underscores. It just drives me crazy.
yeah. I'm much faster with camel case.
Camel case. Me too.
Find directs.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And then save it.
That's all.
And now you'll want to go and run your rake routes again.
All right, I have that over here.
Mm-hmm.
One. Yeah,
There it
find
is.
new director movie, get.
Yeah, so it created a new helper method for you. So the new helper method is find new director movie path. A little lengthy, but, you know, it'll work. And you've got your new instance method, find new director in the movies controller, and you're good to go. It looks great. The URI pattern is what you would expect. In the movies table, you have to provide an ID, and you're going to find new director based on that ID. So that looks good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now we can actually start running the cucumber tests.
Okay. I think I have to add those tests back in because we were having an issue the last time we ran this.
Really?
Well, it's not. It's less of a real issue and more like a just like interface issue where we couldn't like scroll up and like consistently read what the error message was. Like it would cut off what tests were being run, so we couldn't go back and see how it was failing the first time. So we cut out the second and third scenarios from the test.
Now there's a couple things you guys can do. First of all, when you're looking at the output of a test, since both of you are sharing, is that the case? Okay, so you've got a bunch of read and write access here.
Over on over on the right side. Yeah. Well, these are for. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that if you're not working with those folks right now, you might want to revoke their what shall I say, their permission, just because what Cloud9 does is it gives you only so much terminal area, and the more people that you are collaborating with, the smaller the spaces.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the case of pair programming, it works very well. But when you have more than 2 or maybe 3 people, it shrinks that space up. The other thing to keep in mind is if you want a particular space to be bigger or smaller, you both have to make it bigger or smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when you want to look at the output of the terminal, bring the terminal way up high as you can, both of you, and then you'll have more space to look. It's only going to give you as much space as the smallest terminal, as the smallest space in the group's terminals.
Our issue yesterday, we've dealt with that issue before, and we've been used to it. We've been going back and forth on using that or dealing with that. The thing that was happening is like if we run the cucumber tests, like It was weird. Austin, do you have a better way of describing it? Like, it wouldn't show the results of the first scenario. It would only show the results of the second and third scenario, which didn't run because there was some problem with the first scenario.
Oh, that's bizarre.
It was giving us a headache.
Yeah.
Hey, Austin, your mic is a little weird right now. We can't hear you exactly.
Oh, is this better? I'm sorry.
That's much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was being, I guess you didn't hear me at all. It was being extremely frustrating.
Yeah, because we were trying to run this first scenario, and then we couldn't see the results of it, but we also could see that the second and third scenarios weren't being run at all because there was still some problem with the first.
There was a problem with the first one. Yeah, that sometimes happens, and I agree with you. When that sort of well, actually, when you say cucumber, you can say cucumber space and then features / and the name of just one of your tests instead of running them all. I always run all of them at once, but you don't have to do that. Also, when you're running the tests, you might want to bring your left margin over so you have more room. You don't need to see your workspace tree all the time. Yeah. In fact, if you click on workspace, if you go and click on that left tab,
workspace, left tab
on the left side,
right there, right.
See, it'll bring it up and down. Yeah. So now you've got some more room, and I'm surprised at how long some of these lines are. So it can help with the terminal at least.
The path for this it's in features, right, Austin? The cucumber test is in features.
The cucumber test?
Features.
Yeah, and then in features, search by director.feature. I went ahead and added back the old scenarios. I don't know if we mentioned, we just literally deleted the last two scenarios.
No, I heard you. Yeah. So you might just try that one.
Okay. Just the first one or which one?
No, I'm just saying try that. Oh, but you only have one feature file, is that right? In this one? What do you have here?
We still have the
Oh, okay. Okay, you still have the other ones. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, bring it up so we can see it better. Also, I'm having trouble seeing with the background that you have.
Okay. The like the night or
it's just very dark.
Okay. That's view editors.
Okay, so when I go to the edit page for Alien and I fill in director with Ridley Scott and I press update. Okay, perfect. And then find movie with same director.
Give me 1 second.
I am on the details page for Star Wars. Okay, so it's just as I was saying.
I'm gonna change this.
Well, only if it's good for you, you know.
That doesn't look as much more visible to me because it's just.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's very visible to me. But
really?
I wonder if there's some kind of happy medium.
Yeah, this bright green right there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That is weird. I can see it, but it's weird.
Yeah. Themes again. Let's see. How about flat light? That's better.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's nice. That's very visible.
Okay, given I am on the details page for Star Wars, can't find mapping for the details page for Star Wars to a path.
Yeah.
All right.
So you know exactly what that is. That's the paths.rb, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Paths.rb, and then I'm on the details page. So it can't find a mapping for the details page. So we need to add a new path that when it's on the details page. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. The details page for, I mean, you can probably copy and paste that and just edit it a little bit.
Copy the whole thing. I don't know if this affects the functionality in the second.
So it's going to be the details page, right?
Details.
That's going to be exactly the same. Otherwise, and now you want to look at the path. Check your rate routes where you have them. Make sure you have the helper, the whatever path, and copy it. So this is the details or the show. It would be movie show, Oh, it's just movie path. Yeah, just movie path.
Just movie path.
Yeah. Not edit movie path, just movie path. Do you see?
Right. Yeah, the movie
where
show.
that is?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking for movie details, but movie show is.
Yeah, see, this is one of the things that can really get you confused with these, because there's a colloquial term where we're showing details about a movie.
Right.
Well, that's the show action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's referred to as show, sometimes it's referred to as the details about a resource, but in fact, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So you just edit your helper method there. Yeah. Okay. So now it's movie path, movie find. Yeah, and same
Movie
thing,
path.
right? Yeah.
That should be it.
That should be it.
All right. Okay. Now, if we rerun the cucumber test, that should pass probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we go to the next step.
Right.
And as I said, as long as we're not writing controller code or model code, we just go through our cucumber steps. And this is exactly what you'll be doing with your project.
Of course. Yes. All right. So we also have when I follow find movies with same director. That also passes. Then I should be.
Oh, okay. So you've got that link already.
When I follow movies with same director, that would be.
That's in the details page, right? You added that to the details page?
Which details page? Sorry.
The show
the
page.
Show page.
Show HTML.
Oh, the show handle. Oh, right. Okay. I wonder if how far we got into this last time. Where's? Oh, okay, it's right down there. Okay, where did we?
Oh, okay, you have it.
We have that. We added that, but then we stopped at the end because we didn't know where we should connect.
Okay, so yeah, I want to do a sanity check here, because now you want to put comma. Now that you know the route, put it in.
Movie path. Movie path. All right.
Well, no, you're not going to movie path.
Oh wait, no, we're not going to movie path. We're going to
You're going to your new path.
The new thing that we defined. Right.
Right.
Find new director.
Yeah.
That's the path, or is it does it have the underscore path?
Look at your rake routes. I always go back, even if I think I remember it. Look at your rake routes.
I'm gonna put the show up at the top because I'm getting a little bit confused going back and forth between
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Find new director movie path.
New director movie. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Find new director movie.
So it's find new director movie underscore path. That would be.
That's your helper.
Very verbose. Okay.
Yeah.
There is it. It's back over in show. There it is.
There it is.
Find new director movie.
Right.
All right.
And then what do you have to give it? You have to give it an argument, right?
You have to pass it the ID.
Yeah, correct. And how do you do that? You've done it above, right? In edit, delete. Yes.
That movie. Perfect.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it definitely helps to see these patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Makes your life easier.
Certainly.
Even if certain things are verbose, at least it's convention over configuration as opposed to the other way around.
It'd be better than having a camel case FND MP. Oh yeah, you don't know what FND
means? Yeah, exactly.
So
you're nuts in a hurry. Oh, can I see your paths again? Wait, before we do that, I'm sorry, there was something I meant to tell you. When you said, and I follow, right? And it acted like you did have a route there, right?
Yes.
It passed. And the reason it passed, if you look at show, the reason it passed is because if you don't list an explicit path, it will assume the default is movies index.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to make you aware of that because that can be very confusing if you don't realize that. So in other words, this would have taken you right back to the movies page.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why does it go to movies index? Why specifically that?
Well, index is the default method.
Oh, like the one we specified in controller as the default, or where did we specify? Oh,
in the controller, index is always the default for a given controller.
Okay.
All right. Again, configuration over or convention over configuration. So if you don't tell it something else, it goes to index. And my feeling is even if it's index, I like to be explicit so that there's no confusion and that I don't confuse myself. So, okay, now where's the paths?
Paths is right over here.
Okay, paths. Okay, so you have movie, find by title, $. Yeah, and because you're calling active record, you actually don't need to specify ID there. That's redundant. Yeah, it's redundant. Just take that out.
Okay. I hope so. We spent so long on it last night. I hope it.
Yeah, well, I mean, worst case, you put it back in, but
put it back in.
It's again, that's the default way that active record works. Same on 19.
Yeah, I think I was reading that they deprecated ID, but then like anytime we tried to use it, otherwise we'll see how it runs. It wasn't
okay.
last night, but
all right.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to fix about the?
Okay, so like I said, I mean, eventually get rid of the IDs if we can, absolutely verify that you don't need them.
Yeah.
Because it's going to look more Rubyist, Railist, however you want to call it. And now, so then you're failing the next test, which is. We did run it again, didn't we?
I have not rerun it again. I was just checking to see if there's anything else that you want to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, run it again and make sure it still passes. Now with the correct path. All right.
When I follow
it does not. Okay. Now why? Oh, okay. Good. You're getting exactly the correct. See, this is what helps motivate the coding. So it's saying find new director can't be found in the movie's controller, right?
Because we have not.
Because you haven't written it yet.
Have not implemented that.
Right. Okay. And we're going to start doing the simplest implementation before we go any further. So you have to define that method.
Okay. I'm going to define it after destroy, but that doesn't really matter where we define it.
Not really.
We have to define find director or find. Wait, did I say find new director?
Well, again, always it's. I think it's telling you the action find new director.
Well, no. The thing to me that I'm thinking about is did we say find same director and then I just wrote find new director?
Oh, so in other words, is it
I had like a slip of the thumbs, and I just
cucumber feature. Is it in sync with the route? So you called it find new
director instead of find same director.
It should be find same director. You're right. Yeah.
I had like a slip of the thumbs where I just
right. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah.
Wait, why is this find new director?
Why are you asking us to do that?
Okay, well now we have to go back to show. We changed show.
Same director. Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, that's fantastic. You found the problem and you knew exactly where to correct it, and now we know what to name our method.
Okay. There's nowhere else I have to change that. I'm pretty sure. Well, I probably should. Actually.
You haven't created a view file yet, right?
I have not created a view file for that yet.
Okay, so just when you create one, you know that it's got to be a find same director .html.hello. Okay, find same director and all right. So at this point, you should run the cucumber test again, and it's either going to pass or it will give you another explicit error message. Missing template. All right. So it's telling you that it sees this method and it doesn't see a matching view. So you can, there's several ways you can do it. You can just touch, like go CD into that, like touch that directory and then give it the name, or you can do it using the UI on the left side.
Yeah, in the movies, we want to put this in the movies view, or like rather than the folder
Right.
view.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Just touch a new one, and we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
We want to call this.
Same verb, whatever the verb is, whatever the method. Find same director. Yeah.
Find same
director. Yeah.
Myself about to just find new director. Where did that come from? I'll rename it. I just realized.
And don't forget your.
It's got to be.
Oh yeah, find same director. Yeah, with the extension dot.
HTML dot haml.
Right. Right.
Dot haml.
All right.
We open up this. Put it up over here. All right. Now we have this. So I imagine it's going to be pretty similar to the other ones in terms of like what the.
Well, what you should do now is rerun the test.
Good point.
Yeah. Don't even like have the test motivate you to write the code.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So now it finds it. Then I should be when I follow find movies with same directory.
Then I should be on.
Why is it saying you should be on the home page? When I follow, that seems odd. Is that?
Wait, is that doesn't seem like the what?
Search by director.
Oh wait, that's wait. That's a different.
Find movie with same director. I'm on the details page, and I follow. Then I should be on the similar movies page.
Yes.
The similar movies page.
Yeah. This is the third scenario that we're looking at.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right. Which does make sense.
Yes.
Yes, because then it doesn't exist, so you're going to be on the homepage. Yeah. Okay. Right. Great. I'm like, what? All right. No, but this is good. This is good. So it can't find a mapping from the similar movies page to a path. So now you've got to go to paths again.
There's paths again. So we need to map
now,
it.
I would copy and paste again, and then this is going to take a little more fixing up, but
now.
Okay, so now you have to use exactly the words that are being used. So if they called it the similar movies page with capital S and capital M. In fact, what they'll tell you is just go to the similar movies page and copy it and paste it right on it. I mean, you've already typed it, but if there's ever any question, am I spelling it exactly the same, or what have you?
Just go to where they defined the cucumber steps and then copy it over from there, because that's where it has the.
Yeah. And I know somewhere in here, I don't know whether it's this one or the previous one, but there's actually a spelling error, like where they have, instead of SEARCH, they have SERACH. And I can't remember where it was, but like if you try to mimic what they have and you say it right, it won't pass. But if you go and correct it, then everything will sync up.
That's painful. That's
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
back in paths. So we want to go to the similar
movies page, right? And you're going to go movie path.
We already have a route for similar movies. That's already a thing.
Well, yeah, because that's the.
That's the one that we defined.
That's the one. That's the Find New Director movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So you would say that's the path.
Same director. Oh, okay. Don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Movie path.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's all there is to that.
Cool.
Yeah, once you get the hang of it, like I remember, I think it took me hours. I didn't have anyone to work with, right? And I'm trying to figure out, and it probably took me 2 hours to get that edit page to figure it out. And then after you get it, it's like, oh.
I think when we did the rejects, it was just we missed these two, just those two quotation.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we were just like spinning our wheels for so long on that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, there's a slightly more precise way you could phrase that.
Yes.
And I would suggest that you at least have an example of it.
Okay.
Again, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work in most cases, or if not all. But inside the parentheses, just take one of them and do this instead. Put square brackets in, indicating that you're going to have a, you know, like you're going to pick from these things, and then put the asterisk after it.
The asterisk. Okay.
After it. After the square, yeah, okay.
So bracket, now, period, bracket, asterisk.
Right, and now instead of the dot, have, you know, have you used the caret for not? Yeah, there, like that. Yeah,
like that
that's it. Yeah,
this form right there, the caret.
Yeah, caret, and then the quote. So what it's saying is, gather everything that's not another quote.
Right.
Until you hit a quote, and then you know, yeah. All right, so that's a kind of a pretty precise way of doing it. But I think, you know, either one will work. You have here, just take all the characters until you hit a quote. This one is, yeah, take all the characters. I mean, this one is basically saying, stop collecting things if you see a quote, and then you have the quote. So either way.
All right. So then we've established that. So we have path to the new thing. So we run the. So now we run the test again because we now have a mapping for the path there. So if we run the test again, we should be able to see
how we're doing. Yeah. And bring it up a little. Oh, yeah. After we
scroll it up. And I should
see THX138.
And I've never heard of that movie before in my life. When I first saw that,
really?
I was confused. Oh. I'd never seen it. I've never heard of it. I'd never.
It's an old sci-fi.
Yeah. The only thing I knew that like George Lucas did before Star Wars was Apocalypse Now, but even then he wasn't technically doing that. He was just sort of left that project. But that's
interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I look at this stuff and it's like, oh yeah, you know.
Like I look at the rest of these tests and I'm like, I can understand it, but then I'd never once heard of THX, but I'll look at it sometime.
Yeah,
we've got a break coming up. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now so we then should see THX1138. So expected to find TH in route. So this is building that view, I'd imagine. Well, building probably the function and the view.
Well, I mean, the thing is, before you can have a view, you really have to have the. I mean, you could jump to it, but I don't think it's going to get there until you have a controller that renders it. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you know, you're definitely kind of stuck until you have the controller.
The controller logic.
Yeah.
Okay. So the controller is passed a parameter of an ID, and then we want to build, or then we want to select the movies that have that movie's director, or that ID is a movie. So we want to get the director of that movie, and then we want to select all movies that have that director. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to.
So here is where, if you're going to start writing controller code, this is where you have to drop down to RSpec and start writing your RSpec test.
Right. Okay. I'd be doing. You want me to just do that in the same place where the cucumber tests are going? We do that over.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can do it in the same terminal. You know, you go back and forth between them. Certainly. Yeah. Okay. So do you have your, is the RSpec directory set up and all that?
Where would that be? Where would it be? I have the spec, the Rails helper, the spec helper.
Directory? Do you have the spec directory?
I have the spec directory with the Rails helper.
Okay, so look, okay, so you don't have your folders or anything set up yet.
Okay.
Wow, they should have given you better directions for this. All right, so, well, I know the directions are like in the chapter, but you know, that's kind of very, you kind of.
Yeah, it told us to set up the rspec.rb.
Right.
We do have.
Right, but you have additional work to do, all right?
Okay.
Which I know it was discussed in the chapter, but you kind of really have to slog through it to get there. Basically, you're going to have to put folders for each type of RSpec test that you're going to run, and you are going to have to run tests for your controllers and your models.
Okay.
So immediately under spec, you should have 2 folders.
What was that? It's down farther. Okay, so I should make 2 folders in spec or another folders outside of spec?
No, inside.
Inside spec. So we're going to
Yeah,
make
it's going to be nested inside spec.
new folder, and we're going to do one for views.
No,
Oh,
you don't
sorry.
have to do them for the views. Just the controllers and the models. At least, I mean, a lot of people do views. Some people feel it's kind of fragile when you do them for views because views tend to change a lot.
Yeah, it was more me trying to remember which ones you'd said, and I just couldn't remember, and I guessed one that we didn't actually.
Right, but it's the models and the controllers. At least that's the way we're going to do it.
Yes.
Okay. And different places have different ways they want to do it, but the book kind of follows the scheme, and it shows you how to do model views. Model specs and controller specs. So we're gonna, go with that.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So now inside your controller spec, and we'll start with that because that's what we're on, right?
Yes.
You create a file named after the controller that you're writing tests for. In our case, it's the movies controller, right? So movies underscore controller underscore spec, SPEC, .rb.
All right.
Yeah. So now you've got movies controller spec RB, and we're going to start filling that out. Now, do you want to take a few minutes and maybe look through, like review in the chapter what you're supposed to have in this?
Yeah, we can take that. We can do that.
Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
That would give me a chance to maybe get a cup of tea or something.
Sure. Yes. Okay. What time do you think you'll be back?
Within 15 minutes.
Within 15? Okay. It's
sure. Chapter 8, right? It's chapter 8.
Yes.
In the book. And he walks you through making these changes based on something you started in chapter 7. Okay? But let me see. Yeah, I can kind of get you in the right place. Yeah, bring that up. Coverage concepts, plan document. Yeah, you need to go, I think, back to 3 or 4.
Back to 3 or 4?
Back to 3 or 4.
First TDD with wide green refactor.
Well, let's start. Let's just go there, and then I think it's probably at the beginning of 8.3. Let's just go there.
Okay. 8.2.
Yeah. Okay. So go next page. All right. So he's saying we're going to set up this. Now, hopefully, you've got all these gems and everything in it already. I think it came already with it. Okay?
Yeah, I've already run the bundle. I've already run the bundles and things to make sure where to.
Okay. All right. And then he says you're now ready to create the file spec controllers movie controllers spec.rb. Do you see after 4 it says that? Yeah.
Yes. We're now.
Right. And then he talked about figure 8.2. Yeah, you're going to want to look at that. All right. So you have at the top require Rails helper. Then you have describe movies controller do, and then describe what is it that you're testing. In our case, it's going to be what is it?
Find same director.
Find same director. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to start setting that up, and read through that development a little bit so that when we come back and continue with it, you understand where I'm going with it.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to mute myself and just take a little break.
Yep. Of course.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye. Okay, can I follow this link? Thank you. All right. I'll copy this over into here, and then I'll just edit it from there. Require Rails helper describe controller. Describe searching. Select search. Describe. Okay, now let's go back and read it. Shows how we would express the requirements in RSpec that we encourage. In the group test block, gem file loads some. Line 1 loads some helper methods that are used in general. Line 3 says following the specs describe the behavior of movie controller's class. Because this class has several methods, line 4 says that this first set of specs describe the behavior of the method that searches to describe. Okay, so describe, then we should change this, I'd imagine, to find same director, or okay, but this doesn't state it as calls the model method that performs search and selects TMD template convention configuration the group test gem file. That's our app is using. Yeah, Austin, can you pull up the textbook here too?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Require Rails helper describe searching TMDB do calls the model method that performs TMDB search and selects. Is this how their other RVV spec looks like? Okay, that's not exactly clear. So we want fine.
Dude, I have so this company that I'm supposed to be interning at.
Yeah.
Sent me an email asking me to take a drug test, literally on like exactly. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about this here right now.
Oh no, it's fine. Like exactly on the days that I'm going on vacation. Like spring break starts tomorrow. And it's like, so now I have to email them and be like, oh, well, can I actually take it like 2 weeks from now? And that sounds like suspicious, I guess.
Yeah, that does sound kind of suspicious, but I guess you just have to. I'll talk to them about that, I guess. Do you think that are you seeing this line 4 describe searching TMDB? Now that should that be like more accurate to what we are doing? Finding by same director, but we have the find same director. Should that be more specific? Should that be just like
calls the model that performs search, selects the search?
That, well, calls the model method that performs TMDB search. So this should be changed to.
Wait, what happened to the? That's the only thing in movies controller.
No, this is the thing that we were just creating. Weren't you listening?
Okay.
Yeah, this is.
I couldn't see the rest of the file name.
Okay. Yeah. Calls the model method that performs TMDB search. So this should call the model method that performs what? What is it going to perform? It's going to. Well, I guess it's going to find movies that have the same director, or I guess find movies with same director. It selects the search results template for rendering. Search results template for rendering, and it takes. What is this template thing? Are placeholders for examples. The RSpec term for a short piece of code that tests one specific behavior of the search TMD method. We haven't written any test code yet, but the next screencast shows that we can not only execute those test skeletons with the RSpec command, but more importantly, automate running them with the guard tool. While the command rake spec is one way to run complete set of all tests, the automation of guard helps productivity since we won't have to. It makes running tests faster, so just smart about focusing on the tests. To use guard inside the group test section, the gem file, add the line gem guard rspec, and then run bundle installed bundle exec guard in the rspec guard file. Okay, but what does that mean exactly for us? I mean, we already have this, but from tmdb search. So maybe I should change this to be something more accurate to it. Calls the model method that finds movies with same director, or I mean, describe finding that finds movies with same director. It selects.
I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. It selects the search results template for rendering. So this. I don't know. Test images from automated. The code being tested or not, without requiring a human to manually check test output or interact the software. High degree of automation is key to supporting the 5 principles of reading good tests, which are summarized in the fast first fast, independent, repeatable, self-checking, timely. Test development. How do we the short for testers development and TDT is used to extend. First DSL. You already see an example of DSLs, and their spec is an internal embedded DSL. Scientists, these tackle problems with single area domain, especially generate. You already see examples of external domain, regular pressure, internal themes, and Ruby R specs. As other specs, Ruby hence the name R spec. How can you capture expectations tasks before there are any code to be tested? Surprising is that we write a test that exercises a code we wish we had, which forces us to did this in chapter 7, the cucumber scenario. I add chapter 7 in the cucumber scenario, and I click search TMD before we can modify the include a search TMD button. We pick a search TMD. Not yet existing controller method that would respond to the click. Of course, since no method moves from restricting either the cucumber step failed from red in the test DDD method. In the MCV architecture, the controller's job is to respond to the user interaction, call the appropriate bottle, and receive the. We might read that this control method passing the search term. We expected the search result to be in Rails parlance, the search results template for rendering. We expected the controller method would call the method, passing it the search terms typed by the user. We expected it to select the search results HTML view. So, okay, so we're talking about which view it would pick. So, what we would want is the one that we would define, which was be called what should we call? I should see similar movie. We'd call the similar movie view, which would be what? What was that? The show. So we'd call a show. It should be on the similar movies page for Star Wars. Similar movies page, as we already figured out, was in same director, movie path. So we go to show them. Find same director, movie path. Where does that take us? It takes us. Oh wait, we would have done that over here. Find a new director. Okay, but then that didn't clear anything up. That's similar movies page. We have to we're going to define a new view. Okay, so then I selects the similar movies template for similar movies. Calls the model method that finds movies with the same director. Finds movies with the same director. Selects the similar movies template for rendering. And then what's that third step? That third step is back it up. We expect it to make the TM search results.
I'm back.
Hi, welcome back.
How's it going?
I'd say it's going pretty good. I went back a little bit to just make sure I was following what was going on. But Now, the thing for me is describing exactly what this is, because it's only our specs, but I guess I'm not
So,
entirely
okay, so
certain of
you're
what our
saying describe. Okay, yeah, actually, you probably like that is the upshot, but you probably want to do some things in between, right?
Yes, sure. I'm
Okay.
that's what I'm not exactly clear on, because
Yeah.
the example
No,
textbook
that's
is
fine.
fairly simple.
Yes, yes, and what I can do here is let's see. First of all, give you some hints on the way that RSpec has upgraded a little bit. So, for instance, you've got describe movies controller do.
Yes.
Right before movies controller, can you add a comma?
So
Right after movies
right after.
controller.
Oh, right
Right,
after.
yeah, add a comma. Okay, and then say type colon.
Type
Yeah,
ty
type colon, and then space colon controller.
colon controller. So type colon controller.
Yeah, controller do. All right. So now pretty much every time you write one of these, you say whether it's a view or a helper or a model or whatever. You know, you label it with a type, right? And then what you might want to do, because there's a number of things that are involved in this describe same or finding by same director.
Yes.
Do. All right. So for instance, you might like you have a couple of scenarios. So the first one would be on line 4. Make a new line.
On new.
Make a
So
new. Yeah, make a new line.
after or before?
After.
After. Just make sure. All right.
Yeah, and then say something like describe when only one movie has that director do.
So yeah, okay, then I'll just use that language.
Yeah.
Only one
Movie has that director.
has
So you
that.
want to start thinking of the various scenarios that you have to
Okay.
address.
Right.
Okay, so do.
I would love if the example from the textbook had that.
Well, I mean, they can only put so much in a book. Now, I can give you
Yes.
lots of details here. So, what I would do is make sure that certain things happen. So, you have under describe when only one movie has that director do. And then you're going to want to say things like, it retrieves the director and only one movie do. And then maybe it makes these results available to the template too, which is similar to what's in the book. It selects the same director's template for rendering or whatever you called it. It selects whatever the name of it template for rendering do. And then you have these individual tests that will look at those minute parts of it and motivate you to write very specific lines of code. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Now,
Okay.
Now here I've edited line 8 and I've changed it to selects the find same director template. Now because
For rendering, okay.
Now because that is the view that we've already set up for this, or
yeah. So I'm
be...
proposing that for when only one movie has that director, that you have 3 little it examples, all right, or tests, and they're going to be nested under that description. By the way, you're using a lot of spaces there on 5. You only need 2 on line 5. Yeah, just indent 2 spaces. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be all across the page, right? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I okay. I thought I.
Yeah, that's weird. Are you set? Oh, somehow your spaces are set to 4.
Set to 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that takes care of that. And then the its will be nested under that, so they go in a bit.
Go in. All right. So then it, and then
retrieves the director in only one movie.
Retrieves the director and only one movie. Okay, thank you.
Okay. and let's set up some data for it to work on, dummy data. Okay? Now put that right above the it.
Okay. How do we set up this data? I'm sorry.
Okay. Now the book describes a kind of an old way of doing it.
Okay.
The new way of doing it is to use what's called a let group. And so what you do is you say let, and then you have parentheses, and in parentheses.
Parentheses.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And then inside the parentheses, you say what is the name you're going to call, say, a variable or something, or an attribute, and you have to put a colon in front of it when it's in the let group. But when you refer to it, you don't refer to it with the colon, which is I find very confusing. But nonetheless, so we're going to need an ID for a movie, because we certainly when we have these like stubs and fake calls and things like that, see, we're doing this in isolation, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you create a movie, it's not until it makes the round trip to active record or to the database and back that it actually gets assigned an ID. So we kind of have to fake all this out because we don't want to make the round trip.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to make up an ID, and I'm going to call it ID3. Let's just say
ID3.
Well, you can call it any ID1, ID2, ID3. I don't know.
IDQ. I think.
Yeah, ID1. ID1. I guess. Yeah.
IDC. I don't care.
And then I think because I think I called it ID3 because I gave it the value 3. I wanted to give it something that wasn't 1.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, maybe call it ID3. And then afterwards, put a set of curly braces after that, a space, and then curly braces. Not inside.
Okay, I was about to.
Right. So you're saying that this is a variable, and its value will be the string 3.
Be the string 3.
Yeah. Also, that L has to be a lowercase.
Let.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can have a space between that and the argument. Yeah, it's like a method, let ID, and you're going to give it the value 3. And now let's make up a movie, and you can call it, if it's going to have ID 3, you could call it movie 3, right?
Okay.
So let movie 3. Yeah, movie 3. And then a space and curly braces. And this is more complicated. We're going to make an instance double.
Instance double. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have to say instance double, instance underscore double. I think in the book they just showed you doubles, but this is a little more precise. Instance double. Yeah, somewhere they had the stubs and the doubles and all that stuff, mocks, whatever. It's a double and a mock are the same thing.
Yeah.
And then in parentheses, we're going to list the name and then the attributes we're interested in. So we have to give it, and I don't even know why, but our spec demands that we give it some silly name. So we can just call it in quotes, just call it movie, capital M. Yeah, just call it movie. And then comma after that.
Within, outside the, yeah.
Yeah, not English. Code. Yeah. And we're going to give it a title and a director, right?
Okay.
So title, and we already have some information. So for instance, title colon. Yeah. And then after that, you're going to give the name of a movie. Now, Blade Runner's a good one. It's got director Ridley Scott.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
Right. So Blade Runner. That was such a great movie. Did you ever see the original?
Did I? I can't entirely remember. I think I've got to go back and rewatch it because I think the version my dad had back home is the VHS version, which I can't remember. So that might be the original. Or that might be the original.
1982, I believe. It's 80 or 82. I can't remember. But yeah, I remember when we saw that. That was like amazing. All right, and then director Ridley Scott. Yeah, colon and Ridley Scott in quotes. Okay, so basically, we don't even have to give it all the attributes. These are the only attributes we're concerned with.
Right.
All right, and so we're going to say, now you've got the it retrieves the director in only one movie. Do. So, first of all, you have to write an expectation of what it is you're testing. So, what we're going to expect, so indent, there's going to be a few things indented under here, and I think we'll start with the expectation. So, we're going to expect movie 3, and that would be an argument.
Okay, so it'd be a function or a
method. Yeah, movie 3. And then we're going to chain. No, but remember, when we use it, we don't put the colon in front.
Oh, right.
It's just when we define it. Now, why they have these rules, I don't know. They have these rules to make me crazy, all right? I can't tell you how hard this was the first time I tried to figure this stuff out.
It seems like one of those rules that, like, the language designer decided, oh, this is really readable for me, and it would make perfect sense to everyone, right?
Sure. Yeah. I can't tell you how hard this was for me to first learn it. It was probably the hardest thing I ever had to learn. There were no books out at the time because it was too new, and I didn't know anyone else who knew this, so I was doing everything in the dark. Anyway,
when was this?
I'm sorry?
When was this?
Oh, I'm trying to think. It could have been like 10 years by now. I don't know. It's been a while.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, go outside of parentheses, a space, and then so we're going to expect. So because we're saying we wanted to retrieve the director, then we're going to say we're going to expect movie 3, and then chain a 2. I know this sounds silly, but chain the method 2, dot 2.
Okay.
You're chaining it. So put it right.
Okay, right. So it would be
dot.
Okay.
And it's dot to.
Oh,
yeah. 2.
Oh, yeah, that's convenient.
Space.
2 space.
Receive, and then get ready for some more arguments. To receive.
You have a space in a.
Oh, watch it. Yeah. Except after C. I before E, except after C.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to fill it in for me, but it's not.
EIV. EIV. It's not IEV.
Oh, okay. I'm doing it backwards. I thought I'm expecting I before after C.
Right. Yeah. VE. Yeah.
You can have this space like this to receive. There's a space between to receive.
That's right. I told you the syntax was crazy. All right. And now you're going to. Now this is hilarious. You have to fill it in with the name of your method name. In other words, what is going to be invoked? So when they use this term receive, they're saying you're going to invoke a method on movie 3. What is the method you're going to invoke? Your new method.
Our new method, so find by director. Or find same director.
Yeah, whatever. Find same director, I think. Is it find same director?
Find same director.
Okay, only get this. You have to symbolize it.
Okay. Is that with the colon in front of it? So we have to. Because it doesn't know what that is yet, or it doesn't.
Well, I mean, it seemed. Yeah, it should turn it red. It did turn it red. Yeah. Okay, and then you're going to chain another method to it.
All
right. End return. End underscore return.
End underscore return. And now there's an underscore.
End.
Okay, I was N underscore.
A-N-D. Yeah. End underscore. Yeah. I told you it was crazy. End return. And now another set of arguments. Okay. And this time we need the curly braces. All right. And inside that, you're going to put director of Ridley Scott, colon,
So director : Ridley Scott we're going to put in here?
You're going to put, well, basically you're going to put director with a colon in front of it because it's an attribute.
Right. So
colon director. Yeah, colon director. Rocket. And then Ridley Scott. Okay. And then comma.
Within the parenthesis?
Yeah. Yeah. And then colon movies.
Colon movie.
Rocket.
Colon movie Rocket. And
then a collection. All right, but it only contains one thing, movie 3.
Okay.
A collection.
All right.
Square brackets.
Square brackets within the
no quotes.
No quotes.
Yeah, no quotes.
That's what I was sort of hung up on.
Right, right.
Then it's going to be.
So the collection of movies returned will be just movie 3.
3, and because we don't use the the colon there because.
Yeah, it's the name that we set, the dummy name we set up.
Number name we set up.
So. Yeah, and if any of this makes sense to you, let me know.
I'll send them a lovely email thanking them.
Right. You might want to put pound signs in front of 12, 13, and 14 for now.
12, 13, 14? Yeah.
Yeah, just comment them out for now. Now, what you can do is run the RSpec test, and it will start to give you, it's going to give you all kinds of grief. But now, why is it telling you, oh, do you need another end? Do you need another end? Yeah.
Describe.
Right. You have your it here, and you don't have an end.
There's also not
describe. Yeah, you need 2 more. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, this stuff gets heavily nested, which is why I said 2 spaces, because otherwise,
you're just running
out of space. Yeah, it's really obnoxious.
Okay.
So
then we're gonna run RSpec.
Yeah, go ahead and run it, and like I said, don't worry, it's going to give you a lot of agita. Okay, failures. Oh, one other thing. You have you have a .rspec file, like right at the same level as your gem file. And look where your gem file is.
My gem file would be outside. We have
Okay, go make sure you can see hidden files.
See hidden.
See the gear.
Right. The gear there. Show
hidden files. Yeah. All right, now look again.
Here, .rspec.
Okay, bring that up.
Color requires.
Right. Okay. Now these are options that you can run when you run the test. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a failing test, it comes up with an F. If you have a passing test, it comes up with a green dot. But when you're in development and you're trying to work out all these little tests, it's much more useful if you get a more verbose output. So make a new line and put -FD.
FD?
F is in format. Just lowercase FD.
Lowercase.
Yeah. Now I can never remember whether this is format documentation or formatted documentation or formatting. So I always use the abbreviation. Okay, which is like, for instance, if you don't want to type out color, you can just say -C. And for the formatted documentation or whatever this is.
And we only need the 1 dash for this, or do we need 2 dashes?
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is for anytime you see these options, you see this with version and everything else.
Yeah.
If you have a one dash, then you're following it with the abbreviated command.
Oh, okay.
So, for instance, you don't have to have -- color. You could have -C.
-C, and that would work the same way.
Yeah. But if you write it out, you've got to have -- Only I can never remember exactly the words.
Right, and then it will throw something like, I don't know what you're talking about with this option here.
So anyway, save it, run it again. Yeah.
Run it again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we have here. All right.
Okay, movie controller, finding by same director. When only one movie has that director, retrieves the director in only one movie, and it failed, which we would expect. We don't have any code yet.
We don't have any code.
So when finding same director when only one movie has that director retrieves the director in only one movie. Expect movie 3 to receive find same and return. Yeah, nice. Okay. So it finds same director, expected 1 time with any arguments, and it received it 0 times with any arguments. Exactly. So, we're good to go. Now let's edit this some more. We actually need to edit the test a little more before we start adding the code.
Right.
Okay. So basically, we have a description up here of what we want to happen, and we have an expectation. This is what we are testing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
But what we have to also do is if we encounter any code between the start of the function that has to be run and our expectation being satisfied, we have to allow that to happen. Okay? So, and I think you probably saw some examples of that in the book where it had expect and then another one it had allow.
I think I do remember that.
Okay, yeah. So you can, it's a little further along in the book. You can make a new line.
Okay, so after the end, I'd imagine, or
no. Actually, after 8.
After
8, because this happens before
the
expectation can be met. And so what you're going to say is you want to allow. And this is a good one to have in your pocket because you may say, well, how do I say that the controller, the movie's controller, is invoking a method? Okay, and so what you would say here is allow controller. So in the parentheses, say allow controller. All right, because we're going to be calling a class method. All right, so it's not going to be called on an instance.
Yeah.
And because of that, we say allow controller, and then we're going to start chaining with the to and all that again. So to receive. To receive.
Receive right off.
Okay, and well, it sort of depends on how you code it here. But basically, you either have to invoke the active record. Let me think. Let me take a quick look at this because I'm kind of doing this from the way that I'm sorry. What's going on? I'm in a meeting. What? What happened? Oh, lovely. I guess my dog was very bad.
Oh, okay.
That's not good. That is not good. Anyway, let's see. Where is this? I just want to look at this because I don't want to steer you wrong. I don't want to give you this by memory. Okay.
Where are you looking for? Oh, okay. You're looking in your notebook, I'd imagine, or are you looking anywhere specific?
Actually, I'm looking at my code because I want to be absolutely precise here.
I see.
Let's see. Same director. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I was starting to tell you from memory had to do with the fact that I made myself a little whatchamacallit, a kind of a helper method, not an official helper method, but a helper method inside my controller.
Oh.
And I don't know if you want to do that or not. But it dawned on me. I'm telling you. Well, you have to have the controller call it. Well, you have to have the controller call it because it's a member of this controller. So what I created was a little. You know how, like, if you look at the controller, do you see how, like, everywhere you are? Let's see where this is. You see the movie find params ID.
Yes.
You see that? Well, what I did, and you can do this if you want. I think it's better. What I did is I created a little method inside my controller, get movie. All right. Define get movie, and in it I said movie find params ID, and then everywhere that I need to do that, I just invoke that rather than repeat movie find params ID everywhere all over the place. Okay. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can.
That should be one line, right?
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Oh man. All right.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. And since this is Ruby, that'd be returned right after it's done, right? So movie
okay,
params ID.
Movie found params ID. Yeah, and that's all you have to have.
That's all you have to have because it's Ruby, and Ruby is just
That's right. Now, what I could do is suggest one, like at least one place to change that, which would be, let me see. Okay, like for instance, in your edit method, I mean, you can change it all over the place, but for instance, edit says at movie find params. Just have at movie equals get movie. And that way you've localized where you're fussing around with these params.
Yeah.
And for now, that's fine. Okay. But in the movie spec, that's why we're allowing the controller to call it. Does that make sense? Rather than invoke the
rather than invoking those
the class methods. Yeah.
Invoking those, we have
Now, if you're invoking, so like here, if you were invoking, like with the expect, we're invoking find same director on the instance movie 3. If we were invoking something that was a class method, you'd have to say allow an inside capital MOVIE. But if you're invoking a method that's inside the controller that you wrote, you just say allow the controller, all right, to receive. And what we're going to say, we want it to receive get movie, right?
Get movie. Okay.
So it would have to do that before we could possibly expect to receive anything, right?
Right.
Okay. Or I mean, return anything. Okay, so it's going to receive get movie, dot end return.
Dot end return.
Yeah. And here's where you want to say it's going to return movie 3, right?
Okay.
Because that's where we're getting it from.
Right. Yes. Because
you don't have to put the braces or anything. Just call it movie 3. No colon. No nothing.
No colon because yes.
Yeah. And so that's going to be our double. It's going to return movie 3, and then we're going to expect movie 3 to receive find same director and return. So that's our expectation. Now, here's the last step, and I don't know if you followed this in the book, but at this point, we actually have to make the call. We have to send the HTTP directive. All right? No, I'm sorry. After expect.
After expect. Okay.
Yeah, there are some where you have to do it before expect, but these you do after the expect.
Okay.
Okay. And so this is one of the ones where you do it after the expect. So you have to issue a get and then space. What's the name of the method that is being invoked in the controller?
Find same director.
Yep, you have to give that, and colon, give the name.
Colon name. Okay. Colon method name.
Oh, I just realized something. Expect movie. Okay, I'm giving. The thing is, I left out a step. I am very sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Here's the step I left out. So what this is saying is that you're going to invoke some instance method on the movie that's going to find these directors for you. All right, this collection for you. All right. but that's going to be a model method. So I would suggest that you get a, come up with a different name. That's the step I forgot. So get find same director. That's your controller method, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting mixed up with your names and my names. I'm very sorry.
No,
So
it's fine.
expect movie 3. This is a method we haven't written yet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make up a name. What method are you going to invoke on a movie that's going to find a collection of movies with the same director? You could say like search for same director, or I don't know what you want to call it, but just on line 10, you need to change that name.
So change movie 3 to, or change the find same director.
Change the name of the method, because that's the model method that you haven't written. Okay. So just and of course it's going to be capital. Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
Search for just be same movie or same director.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, if you don't like that name, you can always change it to something else later. So you're going to search for same director, and yeah, it's going to return that stuff. And now we're going to do the get same director, comma, and then you have to say what your params are. So
we're gonna get certain. So you mean down here at 11, or where?
Yeah, at 11. That's the what's going to kick all this off.
Okay. Find same director.
If you don't do this, nothing happens.
Yeah.
It triggers it. Okay. So we're going to trigger it to happen, and we're going to send it in the params hash under the ID key. So :ID.
:ID.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what was the ID that we sent it? So :ID rocket. And what's going to be the value in the params hash?
Okay,
what did you set up at 6?
What did I set up at 6? It was ID 3 was the ID we set up.
So say that—that's what you're going to send it.
Okay, we're going to ID 3, or we're going to...
Yeah.
Okay. Right. ID 3 like that.
Without the colon, because of this
without the colon, because of how our syntax.
Okay. All right. So this is a complete test now. Now, nothing's going to, I mean, it's going to fail, right? But at least at this point, we have set up our data. We have set up a description. We have an expectation. So this is exactly what we're going to test. We have set up the kind of run up to it, the stuff that has to be taken care of. And then we're going to trigger it. Yeah, give it a try. Okay. It should fail spectacularly, but this is going to motivate us to write some code.
Undefined local variable or method get movie.
Oh, wait a minute.
That doesn't seem like it.
Did you save your controller?
Oh, that's probably a very good point. Now, let's see here. Hey, now it's saved. Let's try it again. See if that works.
Okay. Should recognize it's there, but of course we're not calling it yet.
Undefined local method get movie. Did I not name it that? What did I? Def get movie.
Okay.
The controller has a method.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because you didn't invoke it. Where's your method? You haven't invoked it yet.
I haven't invoked it yet. And okay.
Yeah. So let's see. So you have, where's your controller?
Here's my controller.
Yeah, okay. So, and where's your method? Yeah, you've got get movie.
Get movie.
Yeah, okay. So that's there. And then look at, where's the method we're working on?
Method we're working on is the bottom find same director, which does not...
okay. Okay. So remember, the first thing we need to do is retrieve the movie, right?
Yes.
And how do we do that?
Do we want to hold on to the movie? So we should have an at movie?
Yes.
Okay, so at movie equals get movie, because we have that.
Right.
have that movie.
So now, and you do it a step at a time. Run it and see if now it gives you something for that movie.
Undefined local variable or method get movie for our spec.
What the hell?
Method missing.
Well, that's very bizarre. I don't know why that's happening.
I mean,
it's right there. Are we in the right file? Do a okay, so that's the
homework acceptance unit test, rotten potatoes, app controllers, movie controller.
Right, and then your spec is homework accept. Yeah, okay, that's good.
Spec controllers, movie controller.
I am mystified. Why is it not recognizing it? Is there something? There's something we didn't write properly? I don't think so. Movie find params ID, right? Where is it? Fine end, yeah. Control, yeah. I mean this, and we wrote this correctly. Receive. I mean, we can always use the movie one, but I don't know why on earth. Did you? Oh, you didn't put a colon in front of it.
Get movie right here. That would make sense.
That
would make sense. We're calling it method.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the error is in the controller. No, the error is in the test. This is the pain about this, especially with where you think colons should be and where they're not. So yeah, okay, yeah.
All right. Expect movie 3 to receive.
Good.
Anonymous search for same director. Expected one time. Okay.
Okay, so it looks like now the failure is on the next statement. So that should mean that we were successful in getting the movie, which means that now you have to think about what do you need to code to satisfy that expectation.
It wants us to return. Well, in this case, it only wants us to return one. Yeah, to return one movie, but we want to build a collection of movies that all have the same director as this movie.
Right. So you want a collection. So what would you want to name a collection of movies with the same director? Like, go to the next line and think about what do you want your result to be?
We'll do the very verbose thing and say movies with same director.
Okay.
So it's like very long and wordy, but sure.
Make it an instance variable.
Movies with same director.
Right. Okay. So just remember, it's a collection now. And then you're going to it's going to be assigned to that. And what is it that you're going to use to assign it? So you're going to invoke on your movie, right? At movie. It's not. Yeah. Make sure you use the at movie. Dot. And then what was the new name you came up with? Because this is going to be in the models class.
Wait, in the models class? Or
Yeah, we haven't written it yet, remember?
Right.
Okay. Test. And you named it search for or something like that, I think.
Right, okay. Right.
Yeah.
We named it search for same director.
Okay.
Search same director.
Okay. So you have at movies with same director is equal to, so you get that movie, you do search for same director, and save it. Yeah, don't forget, make sure you save it. Run the test again. Okay, retrieves the director in only one movie. Now notice it passed. Why did it pass despite the fact that this method doesn't exist yet?
Because if we I would imagine that at movie dot search for same director, even though that's not implemented, it would still assign at the movie. It would still assign that one movie into the. Yeah, we haven't changed. We haven't changed anything about it. So
we made it. We made an instance double that allowed us to do this stuff, and we gave it dummy data, and it's doing what we expected to do given the code we gave it.
Yes.
So again, this is an isolated test. All right. So this test is done. Now you move on to the next one. All right. So what you'll do is we'll work through these examples. And when we're all done, we should have all the code written.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So what's another thing we have to have happen? So it does need to call. I don't even know if, because we already said when only one movie has a director, retrieves the director in only one movie. I don't think you need the test at 14 because it's just part and parcel with it. And we're going to do a model test that actually tests that method. Okay.
Yeah.
But it does need to make the results available to the template. Let's see. It makes the results available to the template. It selects the fine set. Okay, that's actually a little different. Okay, so put a start an it.
Right after.
Sorry, yeah, because we're going to do two slightly different tests.
Right after this most recent
14.
describe.
14.
Okay.
Yeah, just do it, and then say it makes the these results available to the template, which is somewhat different than selecting that template for rendering. Okay, so it makes the results available to the template, and then space. No, afterwards.
After space.
Do. Yeah, do. And you're gonna have you're gonna have a do end block. Yeah.
Do.
So do and then end. Okay. And now we're going to, our expectation is going to be a little different. We're going to expect that basically our instance variable will be given the proper results. So this is a very strange syntax, and I don't think you would find it or find it easily without my help. So it's expect, and then in parentheses, it assigns.
Like the word assigns?
Yeah, the word assigns. Don't ask me why.
Word
assigns. Now put another set of parentheses in here.
Okay. So.
Okay. Now what's the name of the instance variable that we just made up that's going to have that collection?
The one that we made up in the movies controller?
Yeah.
That is movies with same director. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So you can like basically just copy that.
Let me just see something. Movies with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got there. Hey, Cloud9's hopeful.
All right. And instead of let me see. Instead of putting an at in front of it, you're going to put a colon.
A colon, because this is the RSpec syntax.
RSpec, and it's got the wildest syntax I've ever had the misfortune to learn. Yeah. I mean, I love the way it works, but some of the syntax is like what?
Well, the syntax is like it's so close to Ruby.
Yes.
Using rockets and colon, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's just off enough that you make a million mistakes. Yeah, it's lovely. All right, so expect assigns movies with same director. So basically, this is the test that you use to say that inside the controller method, I set up an instance variable, and when we run the method, it has these results. Okay, it's going to be equal to this. So you're going to chain the two, you know, and all that stuff at the end, .2. But now you're going to say space equal. Okay, yeah, and now in parentheses, You're going to put the curly braces, right? And do you remember what you had up there? End return. Just copy that. It's the same stuff.
This whole and return director.
The curly braces stuff. Director Ridley Scott movies. Yeah.
All this. Oh, okay. All that.
Yeah, all of that. It goes there.
All right.
Okay. So this was saying that you're going to expect that when this is invoked, it will return this information. Okay? But this next test is to say, not only do you return this, but it's made available to the view.
Right.
Okay, so expected signs, movie with same director to equal. Right. Now, we have to look at the run up to this, just like we did before. Right?
Okay.
So in this case, and this is kind of a theme, you actually have to repeat steps 9 and 10 here, but instead of making 10 an expectation, make it an allow.
Okay, so I could just copy 9 and 10 over here, but change that over to allow.
Right, and you just have to let this happen again. So you're saying that that code is going to execute, and so you can allow it to execute, but the test is that when you get those results, it's got to be assigned to the template or made available to the template. And this is the weird one. Remember I said sometimes you do your expect before the call and sometimes, or the trigger, and sometimes after?
Yeah.
In this case, you have to do it after, because until you've already made it and gotten the results, it's not available to the template. Now, Armando in the chapter has some big explanation about this, but anyway, just remember that now you have to have your get after line 16 and before 17.
Okay. After line 16, but before line.
Right.
So between the allow and expect, we have to have this
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to the same trigger. At least that's handy. I mean, a lot of this stuff is repetitious. And, you know, once you learn a few basic patterns, it's really helpful. So ID 3.
We're still going to do, okay, ID because ID 3. Okay.
Yeah, you have to, right? Exactly. That's the parameter. That's going to be in the, you're saying that's going to be in the params hash. It has to be.
Right.
Okay. So I think that's it. I think that save it and run it, and let's see what it does with that. Don't get rid of those yet, because you still have 20 to do.
Right.
You get rid of 21 because I see you did that as kind of a model. So 21 goes away, but 20 you have to do. Okay, so it retrieves the director and only one movie. Now what the hell makes these results available? It's failed.
Undefined local variable or method for movie 3. Allow movie. Oh, do we have to?
Let me see. Allow movie 3. Oh, that you is that no?
No.
Receive.
We did use these.
Oh, this is indented improperly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have an end at 13.
So this end. So this end should be on the outside. I think I was asking.
Right. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yeah, this all you have to nest it all, otherwise your data isn't available. Yeah, that's
that's it. I was very unclear about that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I really had a heart attack.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay. Now we have. These results failure. Expect assigned movie same director 2 equal.
Yeah, movie 3.
Double movie anonymous compared using equal compare.
Interesting.
Which compares objects. Expected and actual are not the same object. Use expect.
Object identity. Oh, they must have changed. Oh, geez. they changed some syntax here. Expect actual to equal expected. If you don't care about, I thought that's what we had.
We have equal, not EQ.
Oh, I thought, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. It's EQ. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Phew. Oh. Another heart attack.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
Two go.
There we go. Yeah. I mean, this syntax is so weird. Okay. So now the third one for this group.
All right. And this is still in the same indentation?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
anytime you set up a test and you want to reuse the data for all of the tests, you have to have it at that same level.
It has to be in the same scope.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now it's going to be, it selects the, you can take 23 and move it up. Yeah, it selects the same director or the whatever template for rendering. What did you call this?
Find same director.
It selects the find same director template for rendering. Okay.
Yep.
I keep on miscalling it and getting all the names spooched. All right, so then a do end there. Yeah, okay. And then all right. So now basically you have to set up the first two things as allows.
Okay.
All right. I mean, you just might as well just copy and paste it.
So just the same two allows from before?
Yeah, because basically you have to let this code run.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And then this is another one of those ones where you have to do the trigger first and then have your expectation. So again, repeat the get find same director with the parameter. Okay. Yeah. Once you get rolling with this, it goes much faster. If you learn a few basic patterns, you can do lots. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
we ever expect.
Yeah. Now we're going to expect, and this time it's the response that we want to check. So
okay.
expect response.
Response.
Okay. And then you're going to have a chain the two. And space, and now what we're checking is that it renders template, render template, render underscore template. And then in parentheses, you're going to say what's the name, like the base name in the template, which would be the base name of your method, right?
Right. So we're gonna use the colon, or we're gonna use just the
we're going to use quotes.
Quotes the name, find same director,
right.
And do I have to include the .html, haml?
No.
Just the okay.
No, I mean that's assumed.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't assume that was assumed. So.
Well, with our spec, that's always a good thing. Don't make assumptions, because whatever it is, it'll be the opposite.
Okay. All right. To
so
render template, find same director. All right.
Everything's saved.
Let's save it again. Hey, look at that. And we're three for three.
Okay, good. Now, what was your previous cucumber step?
Okay, well, this is probably going to be...
What scenario?
We were in scenario 2.
Okay, which part of scenario 2?
Well, I'm just going to run it again.
Okay.
When I follow, find movies with same director, undefined method, search for same directors, where we are now. I guess before we didn't have a find same director.
Oh, but look, I mean, now it's going through the controller and only giving you an error because it's not finding the model method. That's just fabulous. Well, I mean, I would think that at this point, we probably want to leave off the controller and move to the model for a minute.
Right.
And once we have our method written, then it shouldn't be much of a problem. I mean, you know, we'll make a lot of progress here because a lot of other scenarios will work. We just probably have to tweak the controller a little bit more. All right, so we're, do you have the model?
Yep, I have the model right here, movie.rb, okay. And I have added 5 and 7, which are...
Yeah, okay, good. So search for same
Austin, you here right now?
Yeah, I'm on the, I'm green. I'm the green,
okay. I'm just gonna go away for a second. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta fill my water.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just want to be sure that somebody... I was just not gonna leave this in the line. All right.
Sure. Do you want to swap pilot position for a while?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna think of.
Okay, Austin? Yeah, right. Super.
I'm going to drop the screen share. Austin can turn it on.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and...
Right.
Flip that on.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll say I am back when I return. Then...
Okay, cool.
All right, so we're gonna write a new method in the model, right? And what you want to do
this has to take an argument, right?
I'm sorry?
It has to take an argument.
No, actually it doesn't.
What?
And yeah, and that's kind of counterintuitive. And the reason it doesn't need to take an argument, because this is an instance variable, you're calling it on the movie itself. And the movie knows its own director, right?
Yes, okay.
All right, so first thing is that you might want to see, because who's to say there is a director, right? So you might want to check to see, is there a director? So
yes, so
yeah, I wouldn't even well, you can do an else. Yeah, try. We'll do a red-green refactor here. Okay, so if do it. Yeah. And actually, we don't want to say nil. We're going to use blank dot, and that's a Rails method.
Right, because it's empty quotes, not...
Right. Yeah, so if self-director blank...
Should I do throw? Like, I don't know if... I feel like throw is not the right thing.
Well, I don't think we need to have an error. We just need to... basically, if the director is blank, then we... okay, so first of all, you might want to do it differently, but this is the way I did it because I found it most useful, is I put together a hash, all right? And the key of the hash is the director, all right? And well, actually, I'm sorry. The hash has two keys. One is director, and one is movies. And the key of one key is director, and it either has as its value an empty string or the actual director. And then the movies key has either just the movie itself in, as a collection, or it has the collection of movies where, the director is whatever it is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Not quite, honestly. So you...
Okay, so
what's the...
Try this first. After 6, right? If self-director blank, okay, you can give the keyword hash in capital letters, H, yeah, okay. Now, and you don't even have to say new, all right? You can just say, put square brackets, not curly brackets, believe it or not, square brackets, all right? And then put the first key, which is :director, right, comma, yeah, and then movies, and in between there.
Movies, or I mean, I guess does it matter? Name.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, those are going to be the keys. But here, you're going to list these as key value pairs. So director, comma, and then put empty string.
I'm sorry.
So director, comma.
Director, like in back in here.
Yeah, yeah. Now put empty string, comma. So that's a key value pair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now movie, comma. And because this is a collection, you have to nest square brackets there. Nest them.
Like this?
No. Just after movie. After movie.
Sorry, I am so...
Yeah, there you go. All right, so...
I am back.
Oh, okay. So, and then inside the square brackets, what would be the movie? What are we invoking this method on?
So I can just say self dot.
Just self. Yeah, self.
Just self?
Yeah, because this is the
whole
movie.
Object?
Yeah, this is the movie.
Yeah, but we're going to store the whole object in the hash? Right? Yeah. That's what self means, right?
Yeah. So you're saying that if the director is blank, you're going to send back a hash, and there's
right.
Okay, I get it.
And the movie. Okay. Now, else.
Else? Can I just say return, and then?
Well, right now, let's just say else for now, and I think we're going to refactor in a bit. Yeah, and end, another end. And put it in because we don't want to forget it.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Then in the else, basically you're going to build a different hash, but you can start like this. So start building it the same way. In fact, you can copy and paste and then just edit it. Okay, so now for the case where the director isn't blank, what would the director be?
It's just like self.director, right? Isn't we what?
Right. No, I don't need. It's not a collection. It's a scalar.
So the
first key is just to hold the director. It's just to hold the director. Yeah. Okay. And no quotes, no brackets, anything. The second key, movie, holds a collection, right? And so before we only had to give the same movie back because there was no director. But here we're going to have to invoke the active record where method, right? So inside the you can get rid of the second set of square brackets because we're going to have active record return the collection. So how would we find the collection of movies that has the same director as this movie?
I can kind of describe it like SQL, but I don't know.
Right.
It's like it's like select star from movies where director equals self director. So I guess that would be.
So active record has a couple of methods that are called all the time. One is find, which basically gets one item, and then there's where it returns a collection, right?
Right.
Okay, so we want to return a collection, and we're going to invoke where on what?
On movies, right?
Yeah. Oh,
movies or movie.
Yeah, if you look up above, class movie is just, it's singular. Class movie. Dot.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Dot where. And then in parentheses, we're going to put our arguments, which are, we're going to be looking at the director attribute, right?
So do I literally can I literally just say director, or do I have to like name the movie object? You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
no. You don't have to. You just have to give director. Okay, and now no, because now you're thinking sequel. So you're going to say director colon space, and then what's the value of the director you want to look up? Yes, yeah, you got it. That's it. And then close your square brackets. Okay, so that's it. Okay.
yeah, you mentioned refactoring it. So
yeah.
can I just make this one return and then get rid of the else?
We don't need a return at all. You don't need a return. You can get rid of the return. I'll show you how you can refactor this. Okay. You see how you have if self-director blank?
Mm-hmm.
You can make this a ternary. So basically, after the question mark, put a space and another question mark.
Okay, wait.
So on line 6, you've got.
No, yeah, I get it. But
yeah, and then next line you have hash director cell, and then put a colon instead of the else. 7.
Yeah. It looks like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. Okay, you got it. Nice. Okay. Actually, I should have had you write tests for this before you wrote the code. I don't know what I'm breaking the rules. This is not good. This is really not good.
Do I have to say, is there even an if then? Isn't it like, don't you not have to say if because it isn't the ternary?
Yeah, you don't have to say, it's very concise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I kind of screwed up here.
Did I just, hold on, I just closed out of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what I'll have you do is, we should have done this first. Owen, we did it the correct way, and I just did it with Austin.
Wait,
I jumped the gun, and I'm so excited about writing this method.
Wait, how come this is?
So, let's.
What was the problem here, Austin?
This is giving me an attitude. What did I do?
What's that self?
Maybe I think it might be that. Well, maybe that end afterwards. There's like an extra end, but I think that might be a different problem.
Oh, we still haven't ended.
Yeah, we didn't you're right. That's it.
That's from the if.
Let's see if maybe it gets away, but there's still a problem with. There's some kind of thing that's missing.
Really?
Is it because there's 2 question marks?
Oh, don't put a space. No, you have to have the second one.
Okay.
Because the ternary is there's 2 different.
I don't know if you should have a space between the hash and the left bracket. I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that might.
You have, and if that is true, then then if that's true, back over later in the line, there's another. I can.
How far am I allowed to go back? If there was no error, not too long ago.
And then right over here, there's another one, which I'm gonna back over.
Yeah. Hash director self.
That went away. That was it.
Okay. That looks good. Yes. So you save it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the spec directory and open up the in the movie in the movie directory. We need to write a movie spec.
Yeah. Down a little bit farther.
Mm-hmm.
Spec. Models, that would be. So we're gonna have to make a new spec file for. Okay, there's no files in there, so you have to make one.
Yeah.
So any models.
Yeah, and then we're gonna name this movie.
Movie spec.
Movie spec.
Yeah. Movie spec.rb.
Underscore.
Yep. Right. Good. All right, and then we started off the same as the controller one with the require and then the describe. You can even grab just the beginning of the movie's controller spec.
Oh, movie's controller spec?
Yeah. Movie's controller spec. Where'd that go?
I forgot where it is.
Well,
Oh,
it's hiding.
In the gigantic list of open
Is
files.
this the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's gigantic. It's like these are like all the things that we've been.
Yeah. I'll
Wh-
tell you,
what's-
I periodically, like, I'll work with a certain group of things at a time, and then when I'm complete with at least that step of what I'm going to do, I close all that stuff and then snug it up, and because otherwise it just gets horrendous. There's so many damn files. Okay, spec and movies controller spec, yeah. Okay, so you can just grab the first few lines there, just and kind of edit them. Okay, so this is going to be describe movie, yeah, type, and it's not a controller. Yeah, don't put movie spec, just movie. The name of the class. Yeah, okay. And then type is not a controller, it's what?
Model?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to start describing the find with same director. Yeah. So you're going to say describe.
Like, is this something that I should just copy then?
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, where you have describe finding by same director, can you put a pound sign in front of that?
On this line here, just quote it out. Is that what you mean?
No. Okay, I'm sorry. Get rid of that. What's the name of your? What's the name? Find same director. I'm sorry. Go back to movies controller, and
The other one.
I mean, again, this is a nit, okay? But you're supposed to say describe and then the name of the method. So it's this.
Okay.
Describe, I can't remember what it is. Find same director. Find same director. Okay, and then right in front of the F of find same director, you're going to put a pound sign to indicate it's an instance method. Okay, if it were a class method, if you were doing a testing on this, I don't say a class method, you put a dot in front of it. Okay.
Okay.
So just for future reference, you know, you want to do it the right way. You saved that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're on to the model. Describe movie, type model. So you're going to do the same thing here. And what did we call search for, I think? Search for? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Just copy it and paste it. Yeah, search for same director. And again, it's an instance method. So put a pound sign in front of it. Yeah, okay. Do and there. Okay. So anyone who looks at your test will know your
How
test.
do I keep doing this? Oh my god. It's
What's
the second
happening?
time in like 5 minutes.
No, this is the wrong workspace.
Oh my gosh. I'm just tired and like I'm typing things and I'm just like mashing the keyboard and I keep somehow hitting the shortcut to close the tab.
Been there, done that. You know, I have peripheral nerve damage in my fingers, and my typing has gotten so bad. I mean, it's ridiculous because I used to be really fast and really accurate, and now I'm just like I feel like I've got mittens on when I type. And it's
Is that like is that neuropathy you're just talking about, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had I'm trying to think how many years ago is it now? I had a lot of chemo, and one of the regimens causes extensive nerve damage. I have damage to my middle ear, or my inner ear, not my middle ear, my inner ear. I've damage to my extremities, you know. The list goes on. But, you know, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I feel your pain, and when I get tired, I not only can't feel what I'm doing, but I nod off and my face hits the keyboard. So I forget who is it who has that as their handle of sleeping on my keyboard. I just had to crack up when I saw that. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm like the worst pilot anymore. Like useless as a pilot. Okay, so
did this? I'm sorry. This is may even be a sidetrack at this point, but like, did this go back to having some sort of issue? It's complaining again.
It is okay. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say on my side, I still see that error. It's still there.
Okay, so it's expecting a right
error. Unexpected left. Error.
What the hell?
Are you on this? Matched. That's matched.
Yeah.
This is matched.
You know where you have the first hash? Make that go to the next line. So right after the question mark. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I was hoping we might see it move a little bit, but no. That's weird. Self-director blank. Director. Movie. Self. Hash director, self-director. Makes no freaking sense. Where, and it doesn't care about the space after the where, right? Is that true?
Hey, it did. Now it's gone for me.
Yeah. Also.
Oh my god! Yeah. I know it's hilarious because if you don't put parentheses, it doesn't complain. And you put space, yeah.
I didn't think that white space mattered.
I love white space sensitivity.
Yeah. Well, what can I say?
It's just.
Oh,
as long as it's not my fault. All right, so we're on movie spec finally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're going to describe, search for, same director. Okay. And now you're going to start looking at different scenarios. So I would suggest that your first one is no other movies by that director. Because it'll go with the previous scenario. No other movies by that director. Space do, yeah. I guess I'm going to have to really watch out for the space. And 2 spaces, not 4. 2 spaces, not 4.
Yeah, if you go down to the bottom right of this page here, Austin, you can set the space to 2.
Yeah.
Does that make it easier?
Yeah.
Well,
this one has 4. Is that okay? Oh gosh, nope, that's 2.
Oh, no, it's 2. Yeah, I changed it over there.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then 2.
That one. Yeah, these things nest a lot, so you really want to have it as far to the left as you can. So no other movies by same director do. And the kind of way that you have to test a model method or a class is slightly different from the movies controller, because of course with the movies controller you are triggering it with the HTTP command and all that, and you've got to fill in the params hash, right?
Okay.
But with a model method you don't do anything like that. Okay. So let me see. So describe no other movies by that same director. So and then you can just right now I think we only need one test for that. So that would be it finds the director in only one movie with this director do. So we're mirroring what we have in the controller.
I'm sorry, when only one movie.
Yeah. So we're mirroring
exactly.
Not exactly, but no. Just go back to the movie and say it finds the director. It finds the director in only one movie with this director. Space do. Okay. And you want to help him set up the data above that line, Owen?
Say again? Sorry.
Want to help him set up the data above that line?
Right. Should I just copy over the same data from over?
Copy over one of them and.
Do I have this open? It's over.
Yeah, it's still going to be a little different, okay? But it'll help just to see that logic or to see that. Oh. Okay. So
He's already got it.
Yeah. So we're not going to do it with the ID, etc., like we did for the controller. What we need to do on this side is we literally have to create a new movie. Okay? So you're going to, like, you can give it let movie 3. So that line movie 3. No, I mean, keep at line 7. Okay? You can get rid of 6 because we're not going to use it. We don't have a params hash where we're sending the ID, right?
Right. This is just
exactly. So instead, what we're going to do in the curly braces is instead of making an instance double, we're going to make a new movie. But notice we're not going to create it. We're going to do like movie new, not create, because that does the round trip. You know what I'm saying? So movie new, yeah, movie new, and then in parentheses. Sorry.
I don't remember what the order of the parameters are. I guess it's title, comma.
Yeah, well, we don't need them all. All we need right now is director.
Okay, wait. So do you?
So when we set these things up, we kind of just put the base data that we need. Okay. So just create a new movie that has one attribute, director Ridley Scott. Yeah, leave that and get rid of the rest. Okay, so movie new, director Ridley Scott, that's good. So we've got a piece of dummy data. It's movie 3. It's not going to be populated to the database. So it's not a real movie, but it's pretty close. It finds the director, and only one movie with this director do. All right, so when you think about what we did in the code, we allowed the movie to receive the director, right?
Yeah, like you can modify it.
Yeah, so we can allow.
Okay.
So you're going to find the director on movie 3. So that's like the first thing we're doing is checking the director field. So allow movie 3. It's going to be different from this. So you know it's not.
I know. I'm just sort of like trying to learn
the syntax, which is crazy.
That's why I have to keep looking back. It's quite
yeah. So what you're saying is that you've got a movie and you're going to invoke a method on it, and that method is director.
Okay.
So you're going to say allow movie 3 to receive. That means that it's going to get the director message. To receive, yeah, director. Dot. You're going to chain the end return. Yeah. And here, what's the director for this movie?
I would just return it as a string literal, or should I like access it?
No, you're just gonna return the string. So just stick that in. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just. Does it have to be curly brackets like this? No, because you made it.
No.
Okay.
No, that's just the data that gets returned. So that's the first thing that happens. And the next thing that happens is that we need to remember the invocation of where on movie. We need to allow that to happen as well. So that'd be the next thing that we have happen.
The invocation of where?
So look at your movie .rb. Okay, so what are you doing? The first thing you did is you asked for the director, right? And then, yeah, you have the movie where. That's right. Okay, so the next thing is we have to allow that to happen. So allow, don't nest it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be in the same level.
Right, right. Okay, and this is a class method. So what is going to invoke it?
Movie 3, like movie 3.
No. That's an instance. I'm saying. So where is the class method?
Like movie.
Yeah. Okay. To receive. Yeah. And then you're going to say the name of the method, which is where.
Like literally, just I'm going to type the word where.
Yes. Well, isn't that the?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. To receive where. And now we're going to give it the arguments. So we're going to say with. We're going to chain with, and then in parentheses, we gave it director. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to say with director colon.
Okay, the whole thing.
Well, actually, we're going to fill in the actual data. So director colon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the director is going to be, in quotes, Ridley Scott. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to chain and return dot and return the collection containing movie 3. So square brackets. Collection contain no, but movie 3 is not a class. It's a.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a lowercase.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. So that's the run up to the test. Now we actually get to the point where this is what we're going to specifically test, which is we're going to expect that when we invoke this, it's going to equal certain things. Okay. So expect, let me see, expect. I don't know if there's anything. Yeah, none of this is exactly the same because this is not a controller method. Don't indent. Yeah, expect. All right, and then in parentheses, you're actually going to have movie 3 dot find with same director. You're gonna you're gonna trigger it. Find with same director. Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to chain the 2. Yeah, and then not an underscore equal, a space EQ. EQ. Yeah. And then no space after that, just parentheses. Yeah. Okay. And then a set of parentheses, and inside that you're going to put that hash. So curly braces. All right, and the hash should contain colon director. Yeah.
I have to use the rocket thing though, right now to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Honestly, it might still just be easier to.
Yeah. I mean, edit it. Just bring it over and edit it. That's fine. So you're going to have director, and it's going to be rocket, and Ridley Scott. Yeah. Okay, and then that should be not movie, but movies, colon movies.
Movies.
Yeah, and in the square brackets, it's movie 3.
Wait, why is it movies?
Well, because that's a collection of movies.
Okay.
Do you have
right, yeah.
Where's movie.rb? It should be movies. Is it?
I'm sorry?
Movie.rb. I want to check it.
Movie.rb.
Okay, so we have. Oh, that should be movies. I'm sorry. Over here, the key is movies. Movies. No, the key. The second key.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
So you have the director. You have the director key, the director value. Then the movie key, the movie value.
So this key right here should be movies.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Does that make sense? Because
Right.
it's a collection. And same with the previous entry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good thing we caught that now. All right. So save that. Save the test. Oh, and make sure you have all your ends. And whatever.
Like this?
No. END. You have all these blocks started, but you don't have ends.
Okay.
Right?
Like one end? Like all the way?
No, I'm saying like you. Yeah. Okay. End
Yeah,
and then
for describe, and for the other describe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Okay. So you know you have to have that all done up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 4.
The syntax
Yeah,
error.
1 more. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you have it. I think you have it.
1, 2, 3.
So you have the describe it.
Yep.
Do. Yeah. You have 4 do's. You have 4 ends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's saved. Try and run it. Let's see how we do.
Oh man. Oh, and do we still which terminal were you using last? Do you know?
For the RSpec, I'm using the one that has the cucumber tests in it. I can just run it. So the middle one, if you can use that, but. Oh, okay. This is gonna
This
be
one.
That's the server.
That's the server. This is it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Movies controller, find same director, retrieves the director, makes these results available. Oh, I couldn't see all of it.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be me. I'll scroll up to give you some more room.
Oh, okay.
Here.
So then we have search for same director. No other movies by the same director. Finds the director and only one movie with this director. Why would that have failed? You search for same director.
That's in this one, right?
Right. Movie new director, Ridley Scott. Let movie 3. Finds the same. Allow movie 3.
Undefined method. Find same director.
Oh, do we have some kind of misspelling?
Movie.
It might be. Let's see. So movie 3. It's search for same director, right? Not find same director.
Yeah. Search for find same director is the.
Oh yeah. That's a.
But for some reason, I just suggested that, and I went with it because.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I know I'm getting totally confused with the names.
So this is that thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I should see.
Okay. So we haven't touched the view yet, and it got past the controller, past the model, and it's now on the view. You see how this is working?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Can I see the RSpec test?
That literally just RSpec.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right there.
Right. I didn't really get a good look at that.
For success.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Now, can I? What I'd like to do is summarize what other tests you have to do for the controller and for the movie, and then get our view working so we can get through at least one scenario. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, can we go to the controller spec file?
That's still up.
Yeah. Louis controller. Now this is the one where you'll have to put the most tests in, and you still have some more to do as far as fleshing out the rest of the controller code. There's still a little more that you have to put there. Not much, but a little more. And you have a certain set of tests that you have to do. You're going to have to eventually add tests for other methods. You're going to have to backfill because it's going to want your coverage to be higher. Okay. But I can at least get you, I just want to look these over fast. All right, so I can get you set up, and a lot of it is going to be repetitious, and I just want to see if there's anything in here that's like some kind of weird spin that we haven't touched on yet. So you're going to have another set of tests for, so you had this set of tests for describe when only one movie has that director, right? So the next set of tests will be describe when multiple movies have that director. Okay, so you should start typing.
So this describe is...
It's going to be at the same level as on 4, or on 5. On 5.
Same level as 5, that's after 2 code blocks, so it's in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on? When...
Yeah. So when... okay, so this is going to be when multiple movies have that director. And then put your end right away so you don't forget.
I can take care of that. I got it.
Okay, good. And then after that, you're going to have a when movie has no director.
That's going to be in a different describe.
Another describe.
I'll take care of that.
Okay.
And when the movie has no director?
Yeah, but that's after 30. That's another describe.
Yeah, it's another describe block, but describe. I'm asking about the exact language when the movie has
no director.
Has no director.
Yeah. Or when movie has no director. It doesn't. You can say the or just movie. Yeah. When movie.
I thought I heard your movie, and that's like I thought that.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm probably being colloquial here, but
no,
it's just a description. So whatever makes sense to you. So you're gonna have to, and then you'll have ones for edit, destroy. Let's see. New, create. You might be able to do a couple for index, but index is a mess unless you restructure it. Index is really horrible because of the way it's coded. That's garbage code. That's just total garbage code.
I will be back in like 40 seconds.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so.
Yeah, I think poor Austin is pretty tired. I think.
We're all pretty tired.
Yeah. So, let's see. And then, I'll give you the outline first, and then let's see what we can go over, because I want to be sure that you get all the stuff that's weird.
Okay. That's probably for the best.
Yeah, the stuff that will hold you up. Okay. Okay, so there's a movie. When you go to movie spec, can you go there real quick?
Yes, movie spec.
Yeah. Now this one, there's only a couple other things that you have to test for in this. This is fairly simple. So for your unit tests, I mean, you could add some other RSpec tests in here, but as far as unit tests are concerned, just no other movies by that director, other movies by that director, and then movie with no director. And if you have those, you'll have thorough testing in your model, in your movie spec. Okay, so I don't know if you want to just quick write down those
yeah, where do you think I should write them?
Okay.
That would be in the movie spec. In the movie spec.
In the movies.
Yeah.
And we need to add It was
Okay, movies. Oh, movies.
Oh, yeah, right, Austin. Head over to you're good. We can hear you.
Okay.
Can you head over to movie spec?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we need to. So what we need to add to this is, can you say that again?
Describe.
Okay. Yeah.
At level 5. Yeah, describe.
Wait, that went too deep.
Yeah. Here, no.
Yeah,
just keep writing with it. I can fix it. I'll take care of it.
Okay. So, describe. Okay, other movies by that director do. And then another.
I have to match the naming convention from. No.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah, that's okay. This is a separate, totally separate file. Describe other movies by this director do, and then describe no other.
Make sure you get the end for yours. No other movies by this director.
And then describe movie with no director. Movie with no director.
Okay. I'll just gonna.
Yeah. No. I'm saying this at 16. Just edit it. That's it.
Oh no! Oh, right.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So movie doesn't have director. Sorry, say again. It was
Okay. So describe movie with no director.
Movie with no director. Okay.
Yeah. Describe movie with no director.
Oh my god! Just keep flying around. Movie with no director.
Yeah. All right. So now the one for other movies by that director. You remember how we set up Let Movie 3, movie new director Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what you've got to do for other movies by that director, you've got to set up like a movie 1 and a movie 2, and they both happen to have the same director. Like you could say movie new director George Lucas for both of them, but they have different names. And so then you'll have your it block. It finds the director as well as other movies with this director. And so then you have the same allow basically you had above, and the allow to receive where, blah, blah, blah. But in this time, instead of returning just movie 3, it's going to return a collection made of both movies. Right. So I mean, a lot of this is just copy and paste and edit.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have a couple of examples, it can really help you. Yeah. So you don't even need a title, but I mean, on everything. Poodle. All right.
Every single time it's Austin and Poodles. It's every time.
Why is it Poodles? Why?
My mom has this little poodle.
Oh, really?
She's a mini poodle, and it's like I make fun of it because all it does all day is like follow her around, and like it's basically like her child. Like my mom, my mom would probably have like an empty nest syndrome if it wasn't for like this poodle. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Cairn and a Dutch Shepherd, so I can't talk. All right. So, well, my grandkids are in Seattle, so I don't get to see them much.
Working at.
I'm sorry?
No, I think that they're, well, I don't know how old your grandkids are, but I imagine that they're grandkids.
Yeah.
My oldest granddaughter just started college.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And my youngest is in 1st or 2nd grade. I forget.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Oh, so we have Let Movie 1, Let Movie 2. Yeah, that's good. And then, well, you could wrap this one up really quick. So you have an it. So copy from 7 through.
Yeah, well, yeah, copy up from 7 there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still thinking that this is going to be. I'm going to have
put
to
it right under there. Yeah, and then put an end for that it. Put an end for that it.
Right.
Right. Okay. And okay. So so it finds the director as well as other movies with this director, as well as, right? Finds the director as well as
finds
other movies with this director. Okay. And then we're going to allow movie 1, allow movie 1. You have allow movie 3, allow movie 1. You don't need to do that twice. No. No, you just need to change the name. Allow movie 1 to receive director and return George Lucas this time, right? George Lucas? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then you're going to allow the movie class to receive where with director. Yeah, George, you get the idea, right? So swap that in there, George Lucas. And
changed as well. And
it's going to return a collection made of the 2 movies.
So can I literally just put another set of
movie 1, comma the movies you have up there? Movie 1.
Can I just in brackets like that though?
Yeah, movie 1, comma movie 2. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. But you still have to do your expectation. Expect movie 1. Search for same director. Yeah. To equal director George Lucas, and then at movies change it to what you have above. Yeah, movie 1, comma movie 2. All right. So that's the test for multiple movies. Now the no director is actually pretty tough.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about this, and we need it to for the it statement to be does not find a director, which is like finds no director.
Not exactly, not exactly. But this one I'll help you through because I don't know that you get it otherwise.
Yeah. Did at line 25 is this right with the or I guess 24 now the director being blank?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Movie new, director, no director. So let movie 4. Yeah, that's great. Let movie 4. Movie new, director blank. You've got the idea. Now you're going to do a before here. This is this is why I wanted to make sure we did this because this is different. We're going to say that before you're we're going to do this first, and we're going to do this in curly brackets, curly braces. Okay, and this is an action that's going to occur before the it. So we're going to say allow.
So it's going to be before curly brackets allow.
Yeah, we need to make sure that this happens before. So we're going to allow, and we're invoking things on movie 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so movie 4. Allow movie 4. And we're going to say we want movie 4 to receive the call for director. To receive.
Then.
Yeah. In other words, to invoke director.
To invoke director.
Yep. Yeah. Director. There you go. All right. And we're going to chain and return. And return. And what do you want it to return?
To receive director and return blank?
In parentheses. In parentheses. An empty string.
Empty string.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So you can now, after this, all right, you're going to say in your it, this is kind of peculiar. You're going to say, it does not query active record. It does not. Okay. It does not query active record.
Is it like the Is it 2 words like this, or is it going to be capital A, capital R, 1 word?
It doesn't matter because this is just a description.
Right,
So don't worry too much. All right. And now here we're going to have our expectation.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to expect movie 4, search for with the same director.
To equal.
Oh wait, no, actually it. Oh, I'm confusing this. There's a step we have to do before this.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, actually make a couple of lines. We're going to do that afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
So the first thing we have to do is expect movie, the class method. Expect movie. I know this sounds strange, but we're going to expect it not to receive where with director blank. So we're going to expect that this call is not made.
Okay, so how do I say that? Or
you say literally dot. Yeah, not to receive with underscores in between. Not to.
But there's underscores in that one. Okay.
Yeah. Not to receive. I mean, I kid you not. And then what is it that we don't want it to receive?
We don't want it to receive the search.
So,
we're not going to want it. Okay.
No, 19. We allow movie to receive where, right? So we want it not to receive where.
So not to receive where, right?
Yeah. So we're excluding that.
All right.
Not to receive where dot with.
With. Is it going to be the same with the director or?
Director empty string. Yeah, director : empty string.
Empty string. Okay.
And then all we have to do is say movie 4 find with same director.
Okay, and that's after this. That's new line.
Yeah.
Movie 4.
Dot. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of your other name. It's search, isn't it? Movie 4 search for same director.
Search for same director.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep on looking at the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Search for same director. And that's that.
This
then
isn't
end. So that's the end of that it block.
Okay, so we don't even need this other expect.
Oh, you do, but that's another it block.
Oh, okay. I see.
So first of all, it doesn't query active record, and second of all, it finds no director for this movie.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So now you're going to have expect movie 4 search for same director to equal director. Yeah. And then movies is just movie 4. Yeah. Okay.
Because we wouldn't want it to grab any. Well, I guess that'd be a different logic. So ignore that. Okay,
so that's all your model testing. You can save it and hopefully it'll run. Is your okay? There's something not saved there, but
the movies controller, because we're still looking at it.
Okay. All right. Well, you might want to save it just for right now because I'm thinking we should at least see that this test does what it's supposed to. All right.
Does not query undefined method not to receive.
Really?
Is there no underscore?
I know. I didn't see this. You have an underscore between to and receive?
Okay, that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say
not to.
It's not to. Yeah. I wasn't clear on that. I am very sorry.
No. That's sort of what my comment was. It's like there's an underscore between to and receive in that function, and not one in the other one.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's what made it even worse. It's just like, there's a function that's supposed to be the inverse of that, or like the negation of that, and it just decides to change the format.
Yeah. Can you bring that down a little? I can hardly see anything here. All right. So they all work. Okay. So you only have some controller methods.
Yes.
To work on. Well, let's take a look at them. Because I mean, we should at least finish the ones for this. I mean, you're going to have to increase coverage, but once you have the hang of this, most of them are pretty much, like a rehash of this. And there may be places where you want to refactor the code to make it easier to test. Index is horrendous unless you refactor it. Index is a pig unless you refactor.
Like refactor the index code in the controller?
Yeah, because remember I told you they gave you a solution that was a dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, if you can possibly get enough coverage so that you don't have to do that. I mean, that's a last resort. All right. So you have describe with multiple. Okay, so with the multiple, you're going to be like copying everything you have above and just adding to it like you did with the movie. Right?
Yes.
So remember, like basically, you can take this whole when only one movie has it, like from 6 all the way to and just like edit little things.
Okay.
And be sure you indent the let.
Yeah.
Okay, so now just like you did with movie, instead of let ID 3, you're gonna have like let ID 1 1, let ID 2 2, let movie 1 1, let movie 2, blah blah blah.
Okay. Well, all right.
Yeah.
ID 2 2.
Yeah. Right.
Let movie.
So you're now going to change you're going to make another instance double, so you can copy that line 32, right?
2.
And you can, you don't even have to change the first thing, movie. You can just say title. One title maybe be Star Wars. And have George Lucas. Yeah. And then another one be like THX1138. Poodle. Doesn't matter. All right. And then it's going to retrieve the director and other movies with the same director. So, I mean, edit the things that make sense. You're going to get return movie 1, right?
Expect movie 1?
And then you're going to expect not only movie 1, but you're going to expect what else? You're going to expect the collection. Yeah, exactly. And the director is going to be different. Control to receive, get movie.
Well, I mean, at the start of 36, there's the expect movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Expect movie 1 to receive, search for same director, and return. Director should be George Lucas, right?
Yeah.
And other than changing movie 1 and the collection to movie 1, movie 2, and the ID. Change the ID to 1.
1, okay.
Yeah, ID 1, okay. And then makes these results available to the template. So you're just going to edit it to be movie 1. And a lot of this stuff is just going to be the same as what you have above. Do the sensible thing. Allow controller to receive, get movie, return movie 1, allow movie 1 to receive, search for same, return, direct alert. Yeah, okay, good. Find same director, ID 1, expect assign movie sent to equal director. Yeah, okay, that looks good. And then find same director for rendering, to receive, get movie, return, allow movie 1 to receive, and return. Yeah, okay. Find same director, ID 1, expect assign. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. So I think right off the bat, you've got the multiple one done. Do you want to try that? See if it passes?
Sure.
And this one might pass also. I mean, it shouldn't because I didn't do the right. Oh, what is happening
That's the cucumber. We ran the wrong one.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because yeah, it's still not going to pass the cucumber because we don't have the view.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. We're pretty close. So, all right. So.
All right, then it's when the movie has no director.
Yeah, hold on. Can I see that again? What? Oh, okay. Can you pull this down again? All right. So, movies controller. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So that's movies. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of had the controller and the model mixed up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So then, when movie has no director, yeah. Now this one gets a little tricky, and this is the one that's going to motivate you to complete your controller.
Okay.
The excitement should build, you know. Yeah. So yeah, go to movie controller. Yeah, I'm sure you're excited at this point. Oh my god. So movies controller.
Fine.
And so when the movie has no director, you can describe when movie has no director. You're going to like basically you're going to do several things. You're going to retrieve the movie but no director. You're going to set a flash message, and you're going to redirect to the movies page. So this one's different from the top two. Okay, so you can start with the it blocks.
Okay, back in the controller spec. So it.
Yeah, it retrieves the movie but no director. And the next it will be it sets a flash message. Don't indent though.
Yeah, I'll fix the indent. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's weird the way it keeps doing. Oh, I understand what's going on. Oh well, yeah. Put your end after the first one. Yeah, so it won't do that.
Wait, no. Now we've duplicated the end. I already made the end. This was it. I'm pretty sure the one that I'm on here.
Yeah, I've made. Wait.
Now we have too many ends. I think.
I don't think so.
No, we have it and describe and then.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Good. So now underneath 60, put another it block. It and it redirects to the movie to the movies page. Do. All right. And end. Yeah. Okay. Good. So now we need to populate those. Now you're going to need some dummy data. All right. And you could do something like before you had like ID 4, I think.
Oh my god.
What's going on?
I closed the workspace.
Oh, you closed it again? Oh man. Okay. You did it again.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who does this stuff. I'm so uncoordinated. It's really bad. I mean, especially.
No, I'm usually on point, but it's like midterms week.
I'm sure you're tired. You're tired. Yeah, I mean, believe me, no one's as uncoordinated as I am. Only I'm this way when I'm not tired. You know, it just doesn't matter. So, yeah, you're way ahead of me there. It retrieves them. Okay, so set up your let data, and remember in the model for this example, you did ID was 4, and you created a movie 4. Yeah, so you can kind of do that again.
Yeah,
only it doesn't matter though. I mean, just go ahead and look at what's in the controller, because you don't, it's going to be different. You're not going to do a movie new, right? Yeah, you might as well look. I'm just saying, stick to the same IDs so that there's some correspondence. It makes sense. People look at it. It's easier to look at. So you're going to, before you have a let movie 1, get your IDs up there. So like a let ID 4, for instance. Let ID 4, and it's going to equal the value 4, in quotes.
We want this inside the it, or we want this outside the it?
Oh, well, it's above it. It's above it.
So outside the it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I didn't see where it was.
Yeah. So it's beneath, it's within the describe, but without any of the specific its. So it can be shared.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right.
And then you're going to have a let movie 4. Yeah, like you had before. Movie 4. Yeah. Okay. And then in curly braces, you're going to create an instance double. And this time you're going to have like maybe title alien, director, empty string. So make it the same way as the ones above. Do you see you have to give it like movie at the beginning? Yeah, okay. So title, alien, yeah. Director, empty, yeah, okay. And that's, wait a minute. You have the, finish your brace. Your brace.
Okay, yeah.
Rolling brace. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, that's all you need. That's all you need. So now you're going to retrieve the movie, but no director. So here it's very similar. You're going to allow the controller to receive, get movie and return movie 4. I mean, it's like the same as before. Expect movie 4 to receive, find with same, that same stuff as you have above. And the get, yeah. Okay, expect movie to receive and return. And of course, the director is going to be, empty, and the movie is just going to be the one movie. The movie you called it on. Okay. Okay.
This becomes.
Yeah. So ID 4. Right. Okay. So that's that one. And then the next two are like, we really need to go over these because unless you look carefully in the book, you might have missed these. Okay. The book does go over them. So again, we're going to have the allows. So you can just pretty much copy those first, the allow and the expect, only they're just going to be allows, and the trigger, all that is identical for all of these its. So yeah, just change the expect to allow in 65. Yeah, and then do the same thing for the redirects. Yeah, okay. And now the only thing we have to change is the last line, which is an expectation. Okay, and now after 66, make a new line. And just like we had to do above, where if you're checking that something is being given to the template or that the correct template is rendered, you have to check that after the trigger. That you have to do the same thing with a flash or a redirect. Okay. So here we're going to expect, and this is something totally new. That this is you're going to say flash. Okay, and we're going to be populating the warning flash. So give the warning key. So in the square brackets. Okay, so yeah, only it's a key, so it's a, yeah, okay, right. Okay, and your parentheses, yeah, to match. And here you want to put together a little regular expression. So in parentheses, actually you don't have to use quotes because you're going to make a regular expression. So just // and fill it in. Okay. So now start it with an anchor. Start it with an anchor.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm so bad at regex. This is usually something that Oren or Ron dream up.
In between the /. That's where you're going to put your regular expression, right? And so the begin anchor is an up caret. So in the context of beginning your regular expression, it's an anchor. If you have it within the square brackets for a range, it's a not. But in this context, it's a whatchamacallit.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
And you want to match, because in your code, you're actually going to put this in quotes, and you can put them in single quotes. But if you want to reference a single quote in a regular expression, you have to use a backslash. Yeah, /quote. Okay. And then you want to say that you're going to pick up everything in that set of quotes but a quote. So you can put square brackets. Okay. Yeah, put a pair and then fill them in. Okay, don't put that. Put a not quote, a not single quote. So here you have up caret, but it's a different context. So go back.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. So.
Yeah, not single quote.
What? Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah, not. No, you don't need it inside that those brackets because it's looked at as just a character. All right.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Get rid of.
All right, you have up caret. Slow down. You have a pair of square brackets, right? You don't need the backslash inside the square bracket. Okay, you need the quote, all right? And then you have to have another square bracket, right? Okay, and now you want to collect as much of this as possible. So put an asterisk, right? Like as many as 0 or many after the bracket. No, after the bracket.
Okay.
After the bracket. Okay. So you've got your and now you want to have a backslash quote again to end this whole thing. So you're going to collect everything in the middle. So you have backslash quote, and then all the stuff in the middle. Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that at the beginning of the line, you're going to look for a single quote. And then you're going to collect everything but a single quote, right? Until you hit another single quote. Do you see what that's saying? And then you can assume that after the quote, there's going to be a space.
And then.
So hit the space bar. Okay. And then you want to put some text in, like has no director info, period.
And that's just something that we're gonna have in our code has to match.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, take it just piece by piece. It's not that hard. So we're expecting that the message should match this regular expression. So whatever the movie title is, we don't care. It's going to pick it up, right? Because it's going to be between these single quotes.
I get the single quotes part. I get like caret begin,
Yeah.
$sign is end. The brackets on the inside, like that whole thing.
So you're saying that you're gonna you're going to expect that there's certain characters that are valid. So when you put the square brackets like that, I'm trying to see. There's a chart of this in chapter 3, kind of the beginning of chapter 3, and it describes that the square brackets define a set. And for instance, if in the square brackets you've got A, B, that means that you're going to collect, as long as you see A or B, that you're going to collect either one. Okay. And the thing about a set is you can either define what should be in the set. Like, for instance, you could say A through Z. All right. You're going to accept anything that's characters. But you can also say what is not in the set, in which case you just have the caret with the character immediately following.
Okay.
All right. And because it's in that set notation, you don't have to deal with it like a meta character, which you have to do otherwise with quotes. All right.
Okay.
All right. So this says that we're expecting a flash message, and then the only thing else that we have to do is take care of the expect for the last one, which is another one. This one is just like copy 51. Copy 51. Okay, now instead of render template, it's going to be redirect to. Okay, and then we're not going to put a quote in there. We're going to put a path. Where is it supposed to redirect? Well, say movies path. Don't use that kind of.
That's like a hard coding.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. So, I mean, that's really, I think, the only test you need for that particular method. You're going to have to write some for the other methods. Save this and let's see how it runs. And then we can round out the movies controller.
Owen, are you there?
What? Sorry, say again. Yes, I'm here.
You made the it says that I think it's yelling that the terminal is like too small to show me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the movies controller, when only one movie has and when multiple movies have. Oh, wait a minute. Did we save it?
I don't think we ran it. Save it. Did we save it and run it again? I don't think we did.
Yeah. Okay. So it needs to be saved and run again.
Okay, we got. Okay, wait. There's when the movie has no director sets flash message.
Okay, so we should have some failing tests that motivate us to write more code. Can you bring it down so we find the first thing? Yeah, bring it, like, bring that stuff on the bottom all the way down.
The stuff in the bottom all the way down?
Yeah, it may help. Or, both of you have to do it, though.
Yeah. Oh, wait. You're looking at Austin's screen. You want to see more? Okay, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what we've got.
Where does this end? Oh my
God.
I'm
surprised. I'm surprised it's so many. Okay, now stop. Okay.
Wait,
so
where?
We have when the movie has no director, retrieves the movie but no director. Can you move that up just a bit? I want to see where that failed. Okay. Movies controller. Retrieves a movie, but
Define
no
local variable.
director.
Oh, there's a problem in the.
It's not. Oh, yeah. But wait a minute. You don't have that code written yet. Okay, and you don't have the code written to set a flash message yet. Okay,
well,
so this is telling you that your controller is not done.
Well, I don't know about that. If you go back to the controller or to the not to the spec for the controller,
yeah,
we specified the wrong ID.
Oh,
and that's what it's throwing these major errors
for. Oh, really? I didn't notice that. Oh
my
my goodness.
Right here at 71, it says allow movie 1 to receive.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Well,
swapping.
I mean, it was kind of gonna fail anyway, but I'm glad you found that error, or it would keep on failing.
All right. So now we have.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Okay.
know. Expected.
All right. That's good.
Doesn't know.
Oh wow, that is actually pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. So we have let's see. Sets a flash message. It failed. Okay. So let me see. So you have this director movies, and what you have to do is check to see if you remember we set up the hash so that it would have two keys, a director key and the collection key. You can take advantage of that.
Oh, did I close something? Where are we looking right now?
Okay, do you remember how when we set up the method in the movie class, we made a hash, and the first key was the director, and the second key was the collection. So we can take advantage of the fact that we did this with a hash by checking to see if that hash, director movies, if the key for director is empty. Because that's the condition where we would have to redirect and set a flash warning. Is that right?
I'm sorry.
I think I've followed it a little bit.
Okay, so
look at what's returned. If there is a director, then that first key has data, right?
Yes.
Okay. If there is no director, what is the value for the first key?
Empty.
Right. So you can simply retrieve that key in your controller.
In the controller code. So
yeah.
All right. And then
all right. So
it's gonna be in show, right?
No.
It's in the bottom. It's in find new, find same director.
Fine.
Okay,
okay.
Yeah, so you got movies with same director. That's a hash, right? And what if you check the value of for the key director? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Check director if at movies director.
Dot. I think you can check for empty here. Yeah. If that's true, then you're going to go ahead and set a flash message, and you're going to redirect. Yeah, you might want to actually do this on the next line because it's a couple of things. It's not just one thing. Not notice. It's a warning. Remember?
I was wondering about that.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty much this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what was that one? Was that the important one? No. Yeah. Okay, has no director info.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you can't just get oh, okay, at movie title. I think that'll work. Yeah.
Because we have it at movie, so we.
Yeah, you have it. You have it. Yeah. Okay. Has no director info. And then you want to, yeah, but you put it right on, yeah, put it under there and actually say return. This you need a return for.
Wait,
In front of the redirect.
oh,
Because it's in a block. Because it's in a block. Return, redirect. Yeah, okay. That's right. That looks right. Yeah, let's try this.
Oh, and can you make the thing larger?
Yes.
The
Sorry.
terminal.
Okay, here we go. Terminal size increase. Did you run it again?
Yeah.
Everything's green.
Everything's green.
That's terrific. All right.
Yeah.
Run the cucumber test.
Oh,
Okay. And I should see THX1138.
Okay, so as we thought, everything is green except what?
And I should see THX1138. Expected to find THX1138.
Where?
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, in the. Have we not built that view yet?
No.
No.
We touched it. We
touched it. We haven't built it.
We haven't populated it yet.
We have not populated. Okay. So then we're gonna go over and do that now.
Yeah, it looks like look, this is great. Notice that when for the can't find similar movies if we don't know the director. Notice and I should see Alien has no director info. So it saw our flash message.
Yeah.
So it went through the controller, went through the model, set the flash. You know, everything's working.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so now you've got to go to, I would take most of the code from index and copy it over because a lot of it is going to be the same.
Well,
I mean, you don't need the form text. I mean, you don't need the stuff on top. But as far as the table, just grab it. Yeah, just grab it.
Table.
And that's going to go into find same director.
Yeah.
And
you're going to change the...
probably get rid of the title and date headers.
Yeah, you can get rid of that, and you're going to change the top heading, right? Because it's not going to be whatever it was. You need to add a new header, and you're not going to have link to add new movie.
Okay, hold. We're not going to have more about. No, yeah, we are. Okay.
Yeah, we can have that. That doesn't hurt anything. It's just there's no. Yeah. You can get rid of that because you don't want to be adding more code to your controller. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be enough.
Just call this title?
Yeah. It's just get rid of the curly brace. Just title. Yeah, title, rating, release date. That's it. Yeah, there you go. But make sure you have a header up front.
Sorry.
All right. So at movies each do. Now you didn't call it at movies, so make sure you're calling it what it is.
Oh, the hash that we made?
Yeah. I mean, you did change the structure a little bit.
Movies with same director is the hash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Same director, each do movie title, rating, release date, director, more about. Okay.
All right. So first of all, you need an H1 at the top, a percent H1.
At the very top, like.
Yeah, like you don't have that right now.
Yeah,
You have a table. You need a percent H1 equals.
Right.
Okay, and you should have something like in quotes, movies with director, and then string interpolate the name of the director. Right?
Wait.
So equals quote.
Oh, up here at the top? Oh, right. Equals quote. Okay, I see. Equals quote, and then the name of the director.
Space after the equals, though.
Sorry, say again. I'm sorry, Mike.
Okay, you have percent H1 equals. Put a space after the equals. Yeah. And then you want to have a header like movies with director and then string interpolate the director, right?
Movies with. So then
But
it'd be.
like a header, like capital M.
Right. Movies with. And
director with director something.
All right, with the director. Director, and then
Okay, so then you're gonna do string interpolate. Yeah, right. Okay, so you're gonna have at. What was the name of your hash?
Movies with same director, and then
at movies
director dot.
Remember
it's a bracket, I think.
It's a hash. Put square bracket.
So
square bracket : director.
You got it.
Director.
Yes.
Right.
You got it. Okay. And you might want to put a space after that, like a new line. You know, a little space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you got table movies, and then you have instead of at movies. Oh, you changed it. Movies with same director. Yeah. But remember, you have to get the collection. It's a hash. So movies with the same as you got director up there. Put those square brackets in and get the movies, right?
Oh, okay. So like
just like you have above. Yeah. No, only this time the key is what?
What was it? It was movies. What was it? Austin. It was movies.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is movies. I just wanted to be certain.
Yeah, sure. There you go. And then that should pretty much do it.
We don't have to have a link to a different page on this one. Oh, I guess we already do. Link to more about movie title.
Have more about. You might want to have a link to back to movie list. You might want to have that.
Yeah, I was thinking, looking at it.
You don't really need anything else.
Then there was this a link to.
So that you have to start it with the equals, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at index just to copy this over.
Yeah. Okay.
What this is. And link to, but this would be back to. To what was it called? What was the word you used? It was movie.
Just called the movies page or movie list. You could say back to movies page or back to movie list. Whatever you feel.
Movie list is good. Movie list is good.
Okay. Back to movie list.
Then that path is where's that?
Instead of singular movie, it's what?
Movies. It's plural movies.
Collection. Yeah. Movies.
Path. Movies path.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I think you got it.
And then we can run the cucumber test again. Yep. Hey, we got all greens.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
All right. And
so you've now gone through the whole cycle. Right? You have a failing cucumber test. You changed routes and tweaked views or whatever, tweaked the database until you were forced to write code in a controller or a model. And then you wrote tests, which failed. When we first ran them, we ran the controller tests, they failed. And then we gradually made them all pass. Unit tests, isolated unit tests.
Yes.
I screwed up the model. But,
screwed up the order there, but
I cheated.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah. Okay. And then we checked a couple times to see which cucumber tests were still failing, and based on that, we again tweaked the movies controller. And then when we finished all the unit testing, we popped back up to the cucumber test. We then saw that we had to tweak a view. We fixed that, and there we were good to go. So that's the whole cycle. That's the going up and down between cucumber and RSpec.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys have it, and I think you have a lot of good examples here. You will still have to bump up your coverage.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's what the rest of this is that we have to repeat this for
other write RSpec for like your edit method, your delete, and it's going to be practically identical to what you have already. The other thing
the index is going to be. You said the index was going to be.
Yeah, I would avoid doing that unless you have to.
Okay.
Because the index is just the thing is, if you look at it, you'll see there aren't seams.
Yeah.
Okay. And without seams, how are you going to write these tests? A proper way to do it would be to invoke other methods inside the index and hide the implementation.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying it's garbage code. What I would suggest, and there's normally I would say do this and you don't have to worry about it, but we're having a bit of a problem that I'm trying to work with Sam on. Hopefully, now you've got your other cucumber tests included in here.
Yes.
Because that will increase your coverage. But we have a problem currently with the autograder for this particular homework. And I am mystified because this, I talked about cycling. We had this problem a couple of years ago and it's come back. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah, not again. So, and so many things change over a couple of years' time, but it's failing the seeds test. And then what will happen is your whole assignment will fail because
the seeds test happens at the very beginning.
Yeah, and that's not us. That's something wrong with the way they set up the test database for the autograder. So I'm betting that if you took out that test entirely and it just didn't try to run it, that it would pass and that you would have high coverage. Okay?
Okay.
So that's my suggestion. Definitely do the easy stuff, the low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah.
Delete method, edit method, show method, get all those done because you need the practice in writing the RSpec anyway. And that's part of why they're asking you to do this. Of course, given that we have this code base, the already written, the test should have been there to begin with. When we hit chapter 9, we're going to talk about how when we're faced with a code base that is poorly tested, that the first thing we do is backfill. So basically, you're backfilling and writing these
the test cases that really this code should have been written to.
Right. So write the RSpec for those for those methods. The unit tests for those methods, and then try to run the cucumber with, just remove those lines that are testing that particular thing in your feature file. Just ditch them. And I think it will pass without a problem and it'll increase your coverage. But keep me in touch.
Okay. Just what's like the timeline on this? Because I think I mentioned to you on Slack earlier that my schedule for tomorrow has changed. If we can finish this, I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this tonight, but tomorrow the earliest I'm going to be able to work on this would be like in the evening again, where I could probably finish this up.
Yeah. Personally, I think check with Sujoy. All right. I told him we're having this issue with the grader anyway, and that I was having him put off the grading for this.
Okay.
But you know, I would just keep in touch with him, because he's the one who's going to be inconvenienced if he has to wait to grade things. Okay.
Okay.
But you know, you're really close, and I expect that.
Oh yeah.
You should get 100. You know, you should get 100, and this is probably the most important one to get 100 on.
I can see, seeing as how this is the step-by-step process that was on the midterm. It
Yeah.
seems like.
Yeah.
Seems
well,
like
I mean, you know, if anyone has a question of why I emphasize this, that, you know, it's like, yeah, you have to do it. You have to do it. And the first couple times you do it, it's going to be really difficult, which is why I told everyone for the first iteration, tiny little slice, because, you know, you're going to have to write some RSpec. You're going to have to do the RSpec cucumber cycle. You want to do it for something really small when you're unfamiliar. But at least this assignment, if you look at the various things we did in RSpec, you'll notice that we pretty much covered the main bases, you know, the main things that you have to know how to write RSpec for, you know, the flash, the redirecting, the rendering the template, the setting of an instance variable, you know, all those little things. And the controller and the model, and even the idea of invoking a controller model or controller method from a different controller method. So you know how to set up the calls for an instance variable, for a class variable, for a local I'm sorry, I'm saying variable, I mean method. A local method. So, you know, we pretty much have covered all the bases. It's intense, but, you know, this is kind of what you need to move forward. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the other things I did is I showed you how you are looking to get like a director and then a collection of movies, right? And there's various ways of doing that, and you could kind of, you know, try to get it into different invocations and all this other stuff. But one of the things I wanted to show you is how you can stick all this stuff in a hash, and then it's easy to access later. And like, get used to using hashes, because everything in Rails is a hash.
Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, you have to like get these collections and access all this stuff. But if like the where doesn't give you the information in exactly the structure you want, make the structure you want. You see what I'm saying? So like that's why we had the hash that had the key with director on the one hand, and and so like basically you set up one variable and you have all the data, and it's easily accessed because you just give it the key. So, you know, that's another thing I wanted to emphasize in terms of finishing this up.
Okay. Well,
I think it's time for everyone to get a rest. I'm looking at the time, and I have to be in the lab first thing tomorrow. I've got back-to-back labs until like 2:30.
I don't. I mean, I don't have a class tomorrow technically till PL at 10:50, but I have to be in the lab finishing stuff for app development.
Right.
So
right.
I have to be.
Right. No, I know. So yeah, we're all gonna be tired tomorrow. All right.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure working with you guys, and I appreciate your dedication.
I appreciate greatly you coming in to help us.
Yes,
so
thank
nice.
you.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just want to be sure that you've got a good start for, you know, for diving into the project and all that. Okay. All right. So you take care.
Thank you. Good night. You too. Enjoy your break.
Oh yeah, you too. Whatever there is of it.
There is.
Right. Okay. Go to sleep.
Yep. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, and I can stop the broadcast, but I probably want to have a few more things to say.